Howdy, y'all. Welcome to, I believe, session 32 of Heck Riders. No, Heck Riders. What the fuck's going on?
Not Heck Riders.
Oh god, we're in
Western Wilds.
It's happening again.
Why am I on this side of the screen? That's happening.
Mate, I'll import my other...
Welcome to session 32 of Western Wild. Anybody have a recap?
Yeah, I do.
Go for it.
Sure. In Harlan, much to do, a broken home to sift through, clues to God's desire and targets of vengeance to find. Weapons of great and terrible power scattered across the lands, found by vampires to what end unknown they stand. A god may seek to end their children once more, seeking a door to swallow light forevermore. A call above is answered by another, tired and done, yet they point the way to a friend above the sun. A pink-haired child ponders goodbyes, be it letters or bedside nigh. A grandmother's answer, hope for the former, but brace for the latter sigh. The old man sallies forth, his replacement he decides to trace, finding nothing but a shell, sadness etched upon their face. Among graves and tombs old loves to greet, it's the banker's choice to bear the pain in silence complete. Boardroom one and fear begins, talk of shareholders, buyouts, and sins. In the midst of it all, a banker becomes VP, of what and whom we shall soon see. Afterlife Plus is a place made to forget, to lose oneself, until all that's left is regret. Despite it all, though, a question is tossed. Grace may be gone, but she is not lost.
Yeah, I did a bad thing.
You really did.
How's everyone feeling after last time?
I have already made my feelings
you
on
made your feelings immensely
very
clear.
Yes. Horrible bastard man. With your horrible bastard plan.
I'm not in a good place mentally right now. Usually I have to be in a much worse place to get to there, so that's nice. So you...
I hope you know, and for the benefits of the recording, whenever I call Joseph a
horrible
horrible
little
bastard man, it's coming from a place of deep respect.
Thank you.
And appreciation.
Well, that's lovely.
You horrible little bastard man.
Yeah. So you started off in Harlan, you were exploring the mansion.
The ruins first.
Yeah, the ruins first thing. You went through, you found a bunch of inactive paytax generators in the attic that had been sort of cracked and broken open. Yep. You found a desktop in Lady Chambers' office that you hacked into, found various things. There was a filing cabinet full of the more sort of mundane criminal dealings or shady dealings. You know, it's legitimate business if it's rich people. Yeah. And I think you added some more names to your list and filled in some playing cards. What else? There was...
We got the drone information.
You got the drone information. Yeah, that was it. So I actually, if you look on here now, you should see...
I saw
markers,
There are three right next to each other there, which is...
Suspicious.
That's true.
Well, they're not right next to each other. Like, they're...
That could be like a distribution site, and they came out from there, and then were destroyed just as they came out.
Or there's a big fight.
Or there's
I mean, more the fact that there are like complete hexes between those two, and possibly
you got to
those
remember
two
these
as
things
well.
are gigantic and sort of gods. So
I mean, it's a day's travel between them, which is still not a lot in the grand scheme of things.
Also, with the tile tool, you can't make them overlap. So.
Oh, okay.
so yeah, they might be right next to each other.
So there might be like three that got taken out with a single shot.
Who could say?
Or slash. Or...
Yeah, absolutely. But no way of telling without going there. And as we said, there is one that I have marked for you with closest, which I believe is the plan.
Yep.
Is the lack of one on Site 5 intentional?
The lack of one on Site 5...
That's what they moved it to.
Well, that's that one.
That's
it's been moved.
Yes,
that is correct.
These are
These
their
are only
locations.
Discover locations.
Yeah.
Yet.
And they could have moved them.
So these are in effect the crash sites rather than the current locations. These are like places where excavations have happened as opposed to places where things are. But
presumably it's like these ones in the water are probably still where they are, whereas the
it's harder to get stuff from a mile down in the ocean.
Yeah,
basically.
so why wouldn't you go to the easier shots first?
So then you guys headed back. Will engaged in some nighttime subterfuge Misty, I think we're going to get to because we
Yeah.
sort of skipped over you a bit for this past evening. And then Augustine, your watch kept going off, and you it kept saying 5 to 9 as if you were almost needed for an appointment. And then there was some online banking, and then we all went back. Sorry, death on the line banking. There we go. No, we had the AGM, which has been. I think it was the Battle of Fort Morgan was when that first got mentioned. Was when you got those letters, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, been about 7 sessions or so in the making, but was it everything you dreamed it would be?
No.
5 plus is a bit of a rough one, even for somebody with loose morals. It's like.
See, I made some fundamental misunderstanding about the nature of that being, and so I'm living to regret it at this point.
It just.
What did you assume?
It just made sense to me in characters. Like, if I gave a bank sentience, what would it try to do to become more bank-like?
See, my assumption was it was less sentience and more running on the sort of
Assumption
of what a bank would be rather than acting on its own.
I still think it is the latter to a certain extent because
It's just evolving.
Yeah.
it is acting as a bank would expect to, but
Rather
a bank
than
is
acting
also
on
made
the
of.
theoretical competence of a bank is acting on its own and coming up with new things, and that's the bit where
Yeah, I think it's just like it invented a board to do board things, and one of the things boards want to do is innovate, even pointlessly.
yeah.
It raises an interesting question, which I'm going to ask as a player and not as a character. Is around the Afterlife Plus. How I wonder how that works in conjunction with the dealer's game, because on this continent, it seemed like there was an agreement that the dealer.
But they exist outside, so the dealer's agreement was with the gods, not with.
Well, we're assuming it's with the gods.
This doesn't give you information either
No,
way. I'll just
no.
remind you of the specific wording. It was the powers that be.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But you survived it and you got promotion,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool, honestly.
Because
That's what you hope from any meeting, really. But
because we've had someone come back from the dealer, and that was an affront to.
No, they were like, the actual act was like, what the hell happened? But in the aftermath, it was like, he's all right, he's fine. I didn't get anything from her while we were there, but then that could be because it's outside her sphere of influence.
I think that was more the vibe you get. Yeah, it was while it was happening. It was the act of him coming back was unnatural. He has not been made unnatural by it.
Yeah.
So
he's okay until that's.
So if the old lady was going to have beef with anyone, it would be more likely to be the dealer than Will. Will's probably golden, but they might not get on to the
vampires, zombies, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That pisses her off.
anything that would be disappointing.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah.
Is Lillian aware of the dealer and the dealer's
I think
game?
she probably.
But you would
is.
have heard rumours at least.
Yeah.
It's not like player characters are the only people that get offered deals. You are sitting in the weight class of people who get offered deals, and those are relatively few and far between.
So not everyone does get offered deals.
No.
Interesting. Okay,
It'd be
cool.
really weird. Like, just people would like if it happened to everyone.
That makes a
But
lot
then,
more
like,
sense why there's
the-
market shares.
your average.
You also have to win.
Yeah, your average kind of your average town guard who gets killed by a monster doesn't get resurrected the regular way. So it's more like the impression you get is it's more like the people who would have been resurrected by other ways.
Yeah.
It's more of a sort of strings of fate thing than a. Yeah.
I
Either way.
also imagine that if you are gambling with your soul has to be worth gambling with in the first place.
Chewy.
That just makes me think of Bill Seacaster with the whole. Now, the people who want to sell you their soul isn't worth very much, so I make deals based on gold.
It's very good. My darling boy. And then you got back, and I think that was where we left off. We just finished with the end of the old Ujma flip. So I think what we'll do is we know where Will is right now. Will is waiting in the house of a man who has.
No. I went to the house and I
Rifled.
went through all of his stuff to get as much information about him as I could.
Yeah.
No, I am going to be meeting with this gentleman.
Yeah.
In his office.
So you're going to the office to do that rather than.
Yes.
And are you intending to do that still in the night time or during the next day?
I think during the next day.
Cool.
Partly because it's more cinematic.
Yeah.
To get in and out that way.
Yeah, cool. In that case, Misty, we'll come to you. So I think you awoke just as the door to meeting room 1 closed, and you walked down to the smell of fresh baked cookies, but no fresh baked cookies, and
there would have been a few left.
Yeah, would have been, and some fresh baked cookies, but not a full batch. So what's Misty is kind of alone because I think Will is still abroad in the city.
I suppose my first question would be the cookies that have been left out. Do they look like they've been left out intentionally?
Yes. Yeah.
okay,
like Lily would have left some cookies, like probably 2, one for Misty, one for Will.
Yeah.
Like there's those 2 cookies.
Yeah, cool. No, it's more a scene of "We'll be back, dearie." Like,
Yeah.
as opposed to you were kidnapped mid.
And you have left a message spelled out in cookies. It says
Follow the crumbs.
colon.
This one didn't set right. It spells out semicolon.
It just said it's just 2 lowercase O's. It says ooh. Sorry, please.
So she's going to get to crafting Cloak of the Manta Rays.
Perfect. Okay.
4 of them. I think I can only do 1 a day.
It is. Are you using infuse item to do this?
I think it's duplicate item.
But is it using it's using an infusion slot? Am I right in
I
thinking?
believe it does.
Does it? I thought. Hold on.
So this is going to be a temporary thing.
Replicate magic item is an option for infusion.
I have misunderstood how that works then, because I only have 3 slots and they're already taken. Remains.
Could throw Will in a bag of holding. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
Doesn't breathe anyway.
For a bag of holding. That's how they get you.
Oh, damn.
I think it's more. I mean, I'd created vampire killer weapons, so
You had like radiant weapon on
Yeah.
stuff and.
so I can always create them again. So, okay. Who doesn't need to breathe?
I don't need to breathe. It would be the swim speed I'd be looking for.
Yeah, I know, but we could Okay, so can I? So depending on how quickly I can do it, I want 3 Cloak of the Manta Rays and then a mechanical device that will give Will a swim speed, like the little thing that divers have that they hold on to.
Hydrojet.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say roll me. Okay, I want this to happen because it's cool and B, it's useful for me. So I'm going to say roll a tech check.
Sure.
There'll be differing kind of difficulties depending on what you get. But
I'm not happy with that roll. It's only a 19.
on the die or
No, total.
Wasn't there a rule, or am I thinking of the UA Artificer, where you can make one of your replicate magic items permanent without using a slot by expending a certain amount of resources or something?
not that I recall.
That
Might
is
be a UA.
not. I know where that is. That's a witch of spell thing from Brennan's thing. Lets you create permanent magic effects.
Really?
Yep.
Neat.
So does
Flash of Genius.
that would kick in, right?
If you
If-
can use it as a reaction, it's a skill check you're making.
In that case, I'm happy because it's above 20 at that stage. So, because it's 8 on the dice, so plus 16, 24.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so yeah, you get making the Cloaks of the Man. By the way, Cloaks of the Man 3 is the game stat that you're creating.
Yes.
What does this look like for Misty?
So they will be. I'm imagining that they'd be like little backpacks that, when they come into contact with water, will then kind of expand out. So I like, but when I say backpacks, as in they will touch directly with the skin, so that's how we get the water breathing. It's a chemical reaction. It injects something into the bloodstream.
Cool. Okay.
That allows you to. It's almost.
So you're doing like direct oxygenation of the blood.
Yes.
Gross. Wonderful. I love it.
I mean, at least it's not also injecting in stuff to give you propulsion farts.
No. That's much more mechanical.
No, it projects your blood back out to give propulsion.
Yes.
Crohn's.
You have an incredibly fast swim speed for all of 30
witches
seconds.
were involved in this.
Yes. So yeah, it creates like an is it epidermal bond, and that allows the water breathing. But then there's a mechanical bit that will come out, and it's
Like a little jetpack kind of thing. Cool.
Yes.
Okay, so what I say is you're working on this sort of mostly through the night and into the next day, and you're sort of, if you're planning to go today, you're sort of feeling the time crunch a little bit. But if you reach out to Nicodemus, he is more than happy to try and rustle up just a thing that will grant swim speed for 24 hours. Effectively, what he gives you is a little module that can sort of just interface into his body that will probably burn out after about 24 hours. It will be like a potion of swimming. And we'll do the job for the one party member who doesn't have the water breathing.
Perfect. I would like to do that then.
You guys, I think you said you were getting back at like 12:35, the annoying bit of lunch.
Yeah.
Will, where are you this morning?
Okay, so early in the morning. So I've memorised this guy's routine.
Mm-hmm.
So before he gets in the morning,
Yeah.
because I assume he's not there when the whole thing opens to the public.
No, I think, absolutely not. No sign of him.
So maybe like 30 minutes before he's expected to turn up, I walk in looking not like myself, but like someone that say an officer I have just seen on the beat somewhere.
Sure.
Go and walking like them. Let's say, silver hair.
Yeah.
Gentleman with a really rugged face, just walking in, face like thunder.
It's a real like not John Wayne. What's the other bloke called? Clint Eastwood kind of vibe.
Yeah, face like thunder. So people just stay away from him.
Steer. John's in a bad mood. Yeah.
And then walk past say some lady secretary.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I turn the corner, I change the illusion so that I look like her.
Going the other way.
Going the other way.
Yeah. She's turned around. Yeah. I'm going to say roll me performance or deception as you are just face morphing your way through this place.
Okay. We are going to go with deception, and with my
Amateur dramatist.
I get
Impersonating
advantage
another
on this.
person.
Okay, so that is a 17 plus 8. 25.
You effortlessly move like an absolute ghost through this place. No one bothers you. No one. Sort of, you get that sort of, I've got a lanyard and I'm moving somewhere fast, so I probably am too busy to talk, and just stride straight up through, flaunting every security protocol this place has as the Watchmaster's office. I mean, these are your halls as well, and not just because you are the rightful Watchmaster, but also because you worked in this exact building for 15, 17 years?
Something like that. I could navigate it with my eyes closed.
You literally could, and I think that's a part of what like you are sort of, sort of taking like the back room, sort of going through a meeting room that avoids a big stretch of corridor and stuff, and you get up to the Watchmaster's door.
I'll wait in a blind spot for people that might be in view of it to be distracted.
Yeah,
and then I will.
On that, you absolutely have an opening.
And then I'll just pop in.
Yeah, you.
I mean, is it locked?
I think it is locked. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I've got thieves' tools.
Yeah.
No, I'll try the thieves' tools first.
Yeah.
And what is this? Dexterity?
Yeah. Dexterity and then proficiency if you have it.
Okay, because this is a +2.
Go for it.
21.
You pop the lock straight away. You sort of. There's a very cinematic thing if you hear footsteps going down a door, it'll pop straight in as the person comes around the corner.
And then lock it.
And lock it behind you. Yeah.
And then I will just stand in the corner and wait. And then when I hear his footsteps, which with my recording, I'd like to think that I've got a display of his gait or as a waveform, and I've also got a waveform thing.
Like a waveform analysis waiting to hear his foot fingerprint.
Exactly.
His vocal foot fingerprint.
Sure.
Some strange words, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I came up with a strange idea. So.
I think probably it's like 9:55 by the time that you hear that you hear those particular footsteps arriving.
And so at which point I will cast invisibility on myself.
Sweet. You hear like the guy, someone at the door just sort of fiddling with the lock, and then he sort of walks away, and then you hear him coming back with like a janitor. Actually, you recognise the janitor's voice, and it looks like the janitor's sort of he hasn't got his keys and is just unlocking and he walks in. And you see this guy, he just looks like a mess. He's like stubble, like bedhead. He's clearly like hungover. And he goes and sits down at the desk and he just pulls out like a flask and just...
So I'm presuming the janitor's gone and the door is closed.
Yeah.
So I get out that coin.
Yes.
And I sneak up behind this guy. And I just reach around and just start...
Gives a little tickle under the arse.
And then I start the coin spinning on the desk in front of him.
Sure. This orb of sort of muffling silence settles over the room as it doesn't silence anything, it just makes people not notice. It's just a very subtle magical effect settles over the room. But yeah. And I don't even notice this.
Good morning. And he's going to feel a metal... Well, it's going to be a finger, but he's going to feel a metal thing held at the back of his head. You know, like a gun might, but it's just a finger.
Yeah.
Got to say, I'm very disappointed.
Gonna have to be more specific, mate. Who are you?
My name is William Harbinger.
He's sort of like he goes to am I right to turn around or
I will
spin him on the chair.
Yeah, I'm going to spin him on the chair.
He's sort of. All right, sure. What? Fine.
Yeah.
You gonna kill me?
No.
Fine.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, that's what they all said.
See, you're failing this city. You're doing a shit job. You're trying. You're not trying enough. You're a very trying man.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you an opportunity.
Okay.
Don Angeles is dead.
Yeah.
I killed him.
Cool.
Can I get a read on this
Yeah,
guy?
roll an insight check.
I feel sorry for this.
Do you want me to? I feel like Lily's like, there's a broken man. There's just no. What are you doing?
So 19.
I think you do get a good read of this guy. Like, from what he said about his mate, this is not the first time someone has broken into his office and threatened him. Honestly, this week, he just looks tired. So hang on, Don Angeles is dead.
Yeah.
All right, that's nice. How'd you kill him? I thought you were, no offense, but you were a bit different.
Yeah, I had a bit of a journey through the desert. Do wonders to make a man more focused.
Yeah. Yeah, no offense, just I don't know what I'm doing. I just it seemed like a really good idea when they offered me the job, right? And then all the crime syndicates, it's all gone to shit. And I've had the head of the Rogues Guild in here threatening me. I've had the head of the Paladins in here threatening me. I've had the rest of the guards in here threatening me. I had the headmistress of the university in here threatening me. And now you're in here threatening me.
So
And
when he says headmistress, that's Irma.
Yeah.
I think I'm small potatoes. Really.
Like, best will in the world, I'm getting very mixed messages from a lot of people. Some people want me to do the job. Some people don't want me to do the job. And some people want me to leave. And some people want me to stay. And someone's going to kill me horribly no matter what I do. So I don't care anymore. I'm just sort of styling it out.
Seems to me that what you're looking for is a way out.
Yeah.
And a nice way out.
Yeah. Do you want the job?
I see myself more as more of an overseer now. No, you took this job. It was your choice. And it seems to me like the only way out might be through.
Out of character. Maybe the stick is the bad choice here. Maybe.
The vibes I'm getting is like, I really wanted to torture him. Just work with me here.
He's just too pathetic.
Yes.
I was expecting a shitbag.
No.
He never was.
Every sign you had leading up to this, and even the poem was like, this man is just a sad, broken shell of a man.
Yeah.
And no matter what you do to him, it's just not going to be enough.
But do you want you don't want the job back? Like, because I think you are the. God, you're a shitbag. Oh no.
Oof.
Sir. Kudos.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna need a second.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, yeah, what I was originally wanting to get out of this was basically scaring him straight.
Yeah, that's no.
And and then like I was going to try and like instill the legend of the Eternal Watchmaster type thing, of there is this Watchmaster who if you are a bad un, then he'll come out of nowhere and mess you up.
Do you know anyone who does want the job?
Do I know anyone who does want the job?
I mean, can you think of anyone?
I'm,
That's not a question I have an answer to, but
Would you? There is one person that you might consider. It's a bit unorthodox, and he's a bit murdery. But he definitely cleaned the streets up real nice.
He would come clean the streets up with extreme prejudice.
Yeah.
Is the problem.
Yeah.
I think this guy might be a better choice than him.
Although if this job breaks people, surely the trick would be to pick an already broken man, and we do already know one.
There's one right there.
Well,
No, that's
Who else were you
well
thinking?
past
Are you
broken.
thinking
Beauregard
Lafontaine?
Ultra
Stop in the name of the law!
Actually, ultra paranoid and very good at legalese. That's not bad.
I mean, that's a point.
I mean, hey, if you want to make Beauregard LaFontaine Watchmaster, I'm not going to stop
The
you.
problem is he is possibly too much of a coward, and will cave at the first sign of any issue.
She's the front man.
I just want to go.
Now, you could go. You could flee.
Yeah,
Or you could make something of yourself.
doesn't seem likely.
Stranger things have happened.
Mate, look, I know we weren't exactly in a close professional working relationship, but I'm shit at this. I joined the Watchmaster's office because my uncle works for the Watchmaster's office. And honestly, he fucking hates me. And says I'm useless. And I don't know, man. Like, I got nothing. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I mean, that's what the Angeles blokes were in here said. Like, they want me to stay here and be a figurehead and not do anything, because if the Watchmaster's not doing anything, they can do what they like. And then the Rogues Guild were in here saying that I have to stay here and do my job because the order's good for them, presumably. Like,
Well, the Angeles Syndicate is, but previous management has had a downsize.
yeah, great. He's dead, you said.
Yes. And the Rogues Guild are taking over. So everything that the Angeles Syndicate was telling you, you don't need to worry about anymore.
Like, I get what you're saying, but I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just shit.
Yeah, I was shit as well. You need help.
Great.
There are people out there in this building
Yeah.
who can help you.
None of them have done so far.
Go and ask them. And I'll give him like names of, say, 2, maybe 3 people that I know
Yeah.
that have the moral fibre.
Okay. The actual like good guys in the department. And,
Yeah. But also, have the knowledge and expertise required to be able to do the job, but maybe don't necessarily want to actually have the job. And then the kind of people who when they see that he actually wants to do the job and do it well, will be happy to help him out.
So, like the old adage about the people who want power are the ones who shouldn't have it, and those, and vice versa, etc. So you want to go and find the people who don't want power, but
they
probably
want to see the
should
job
have
done well,
should
yeah.
have the guiding hand there. Okay. I think roll me a persuasion check and just go flat. I think that's a good plan. It's not just relying on him and his feelings. It is putting other stuff in place. It's going to be disadvantage to persuade him to do stuff, but it will be advantage with that. So yeah, just give me a flat persuasion roll.
What's a 3 on the die? Do I have... Do not have any inspiration. I don't think I've got any destiny points either. So that is going to be a 14. Can't modify it.
Sure. Yeah. All right. I'll go and speak to Darren. Why not? I think like your read on him with that 19 is probably he is gonna go and speak to Darren because it's just the last thing someone told him to do. He has no real sort of. Was it 14 total?
14
Yeah.
total.
Yeah, he's sort of like it was just the last thing someone threatening told him to do.
Now, I care about this city. I want what's best for it. I think you could do well here. With the right teachers and the right guidance, you could find a way out by going through. You could be a force for good in this office. You could help people. You could keep order. As the Rogues Guild want you to do. As the Paladins, they presumably were in here telling you to do the right thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff about justice and responsibility and duty and stuff, and yeah, he was 8 feet tall and had a halberd. What are you going to say? Mind you, the other guy was really short and 4 feet tall and had big knives. So what are you going to say to him? But
It's not about what you say; it's about what you do. The actions make the man. If you start putting forth a good effort and do your best,
what if my best isn't good enough?
if your best isn't good enough, then things will be sorted out. There will be a replacement eventually. But for now, the person who is holding these reins is you. And the city deserves better than what you've been giving it so far.
Roll me the advantage on that persuasion. I think the bit that resonates with him, the only bit that resonates with him, is the person holding the reins is you. I think no one at any point has told him that he has a choice here. No one said that to him. Like, he might know that he might be worrying that he has a choice to make, but no one has told him out loud that he has one. And every other person who's been in this office and put a knife to his throat or a boot on his chest or held a gun to the back of his head this week has told him, here's what you're going to do. I think you're probably the first person to say to him, I just go and do your best. Darren and
Cynthia,
yeah,
they're good ones. They too want what's best for the city.
even if it's me.
You're who they've got. They will work with what they can get. And at the end of this, who knows, you might become the best. You might be able to look yourself in the mirror and say to yourself that you have done a good job. You're someone worth something.
How are you anyway?
Yes, I died. Came back.
Bummer.
Just think about what I've said. And please, try to do better. And if things get beyond your control, if something bigger than you can handle starts threatening this city,
There's some terrorists put up an auction house.
they're not going to be doing that anymore. I've seen
Hey.
that.
Roll.
Hey, you don't know that.
Roll.
Don't make promises you can't deliver on.
What? We're not going to blow up any more auction houses!
We were the ones who blew up in the first place.
Yes, you have no control over Kincaid.
Okay. No more auction. If we don't have any more auction houses, they can't be blown up.
So we need to demolish all of the auction houses, and then at that moment...
I don't know, all the Firebird owned.
Yeah, well, there you go. Roll. I'm going to say. I don't know how you were how that was an end, but roll either deception or persuasion. There, your choice.
Well, I was intending a persuasion because I genuinely forgot that we weren't the ones that blew it up.
That's fair. Yeah. Roll persuasion then.
26.
Sure. Well, yeah. If you got a lead, follow it up. But it's a weird first order. But yeah. All right. I'll give it a go.
And spinning back round to face the desk.
Ooh.
Pick up the coin.
Mm.
And then I'm going to dimension door out of there.
Mm-hmm. You're going to Batman him?
Gonna Batman him.
Oh, by the way. Man, that was very cinematic.
When I was going to threaten him, I was going to be changing my face as I was threatening him.
Very good.
I could be anybody, so be on your best behaviour.
Yeah, I think, interesting one, because I had an idea of who he was in my head, and he was someone who thought it was a good idea when he was really pressured into it by the still living Don Angeles quite some months ago. Not such a good idea now, is it, fucko? Yeah, you dimension door just sort of into the streets outside. It's very, very bright sunny morning now. I think probably by the time you've got in there, that conversation took maybe 20 minutes. So you're still only coming up maybe 10:30 in the morning. Misty, you're probably
Actually. I'd like to dimension door to where Darren is. And just have a quick
Darren, well, you're looking different.
Yeah, I've been on a journey.
Been glow up?
Sorry, what was that?
Bit of a glow up? Been eating your sprouts?
Yeah. Carrots too. Help you see in the dark and everything.
Clearly.
Just had a little chat with my successor.
Fillmore. What do you think of that one?
That's a severely broken man.
Mm.
I went in there intending to threaten him into doing a good job.
We've had to sew 3 of his fingers back on this week. He'd keep shooting them off.
I've told him to come talk to you and to Cynthia and get your help.
No one messes with the HR department.
And do a better job.
Good enough. You're looking well.
Thanks. Rumours of my death have been greatly exaggerated.
It's a great line.
Thanks, I stole it from a play.
Nice.
But yeah, I'd appreciate it if you can try and guide him. He could be better.
Well, we've been putting a few things in order with the old Rose Guild. Some old friends from back in Ulster. Been making some appearances in the wake of Don Angeles. Well, not quite sure. He was...
Oh, he died. With extreme prejudice.
You doing okay, man? Got a really intense vibe going on.
Yeah, as I said, things have been going on. But the Angeles Syndicate should no longer be an issue. And I would stick around and take up the reins myself, but I'm afraid I've got a bigger fish to fry. I said when the city needs me, I'll be back.
Take care of yourself.
Same to you. And I'm going to... now, at some point, I would have used my my Watchmaster badge to regain a spell slot, and that's when I dimension door to the street.
Cool. Perfect. Yeah. You step out in that sort of little nanite burst as it appears and warps space-time. You pop back out. Yeah, burning sun now on the cobbles. It looks like it did rain a little in the night, but that has just burnt completely off of the cobblestones of the city. And yeah, are you heading back to Augustine's pad where you guys said?
Yeah.
Cool.
And I'll be looking like some random pedestrian again.
Sweet. So yeah, you arrive back. I think Misty, you're putting the finishing touches. You see Ignatia's owl drops a package off for you with from Dad written on it. And yeah, it is this sort of little sort of accessory module that you think you could plug in between Will's like C5 and 6 vertebrae to certainly do something. And yeah, I think as the owl is leaving, you sort of see the owl as you are walking through the door. The owl sort of on tank treads sort of comes through the door, then goes, "It," and then yeah, rocket boost engage and out into the sky. Yeah. How that?
Yep. Walk in. Morning, Misty.
Morning.
Picked up donuts.
Oh, thank you. I've just finished the cookies. Turn around for me.
Okay.
You're
What
way
am
more
I meant to be
trusting.
looking at?
Way more trusting than you should be.
And as you turned around, like, she will gently rip open your neck. Like, the neck panel.
Not meant to do that.
Undo the hex bolt on your cervical vertebrae.
Okay. Yeah, I think this fits here.
You feel it sort of plug in, and then as the artificer tech sort of integrates with your much more Amartal tech sort of frame, it begins to absorb this module and sort of slightly reconfigures it into your own metabolism and biology. It is
Tastes like mint.
it's crunchy because it's different magic, and you're not sort of used to this kind of
With no bubble gum.
architecture. Yeah. But so what that will be is a potion of swimming, which gives you a sort of speed equal to your walking speed for 24 hours. You can choose to pop that at any moment.
Wow, that's rather interesting.
Should never change your
Hasn't,
vocal
yeah.
cords. Okay. Interesting. I have notes.
Let me get a soldering iron up in your voice box and see if I can sort that out.
Well, close the hatch back up.
Yeah. What are you guys doing for the next couple of hours while the presentation is going on?
Have I finished with all of my...
Yeah, I'd say
Okay,
by this time
perfect.
you did your regular caffeinated overnight work, but you got 4.5 hours, which is, you know, the agreed upon amount that you would get with Ignatia. So
Cool.
yeah.
In that case, I will... now that Will's back, I will continue Secret Project.
Great.
My grandkids
Also
awake
working
at
on
this
secret
point.
project.
Yeah, I'd say they would have woken up sort of around the same time as
Because I wasn't intending to be out. Like, I thought, I'd be gone for an hour at most.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I'm a bad grandma. I left my kids alone with no one.
it's worse than no one.
Wait, there were kids in the house.
I think Augustine, if you then step out, if that's secret project happening, Will, anything you're doing apart from getting a short rest?
I'm with
Your short
also working on
secret projecting with. Let me see, that's absolutely fine. In that case, I think you come back and Augustine, you have a lovely study with like silver piece per page writing paper in your study, and it is just crayon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, they appear to be very well behaved kids.
Okay.
They've just sort of, and honestly, this isn't actually unusual for them, as heartbreaking as that might be.
Yeah.
But yeah, they appear to have been quite good, and they've sort of like.
So we come out from the door and we're like, that was a lot, dear.
There's a breath of like what's it called, polyester carpet tiling as the door sort of wafts and then closes again behind you, and then stops existing.
Augustine will just walk over to the desk that we have these kids' drawers on, and just okay, and take the drawings aside, open up the cabinet, and just a whiskey glass.
Very good.
That's fair, dearie. Oh, dears, have you been good? Oh, I'm very sorry for leaving you all alone. Oh, the lovely drawing.
Pass you a drawing of a cat.
I love it. I'm going to roll it up and put in a scroll case, and then when we get home, I'll put it on
The icebox.
the icebox.
Yeah. That
Lovely.
like your the one has done like a crayon drawing of your entire party. So there's like a scowly man in a cowboy hat with like one arm that is in red crayon, and there's one which is just a regular stick figure but with a gun and pink pigtails. They're like a side pony.
Yeah.
Then you, which is just sort of a smiley grandma, and then one that has like the little evil
Angry
eyebrows
face.
and a bowler hat.
Oh,
And yeah, pass you that as well.
Yep. Keeping that one.
Very good.
That's going in a frame.
Memories. So you are welcome to share your experiences or not, as you so desire. Since you last saw each other, obviously you've been working on your you got the magic items that you can use for the next sort of stage of your adventure. Obviously the AGM happened. You've been over with the Watchmaster. So of those things, obviously I assume you share with the rest of the gang.
Yes. Yeah, you each get a like little metallic backpack that's got like a... Yep. That will give you water breathing and swim speed.
Oh.
She obviously doesn't say that because that's a bit too meta and breaking the fourth wall. But she could, you'll be able to breathe underwater and move quite quickly.
Oh, thank you, dearie. I need a swimming costume.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true? I don't even know where to begin with what we saw.
I've got a promotion then.
You did, dearie?
Oh, congratulations. Should we all be toasting this promotion?
No, he's not toasting.
Oh, you have a drink too. Clink.
Clink.
Swallow.
Yes.
Promotion in what?
Moving up in the world to the bank, of course.
Of course. So you're now an even richer uncle.
And the bank's moving up in the world as well?
I suppose so.
That's what we love to hear.
No.
What's
No.
I know I was being facetious.
What's it doing?
Selling life insurance.
No, it was doing that before, I think. This is...
Well,
So-
with perks.
What's about life insurance?
I'm
Death
trying
insurance
to-
or something?
I'm trying to spin this in the best positive light, dearie, in a way that doesn't make me sound so negative. But the only word screaming through my head is, this is a fresh new kind of hell.
I mean, those words have possibly never been true as well.
It was ignorable before, dearie.
That's true.
This is alarming. I need to go buy...
Let's not be too hasty.
I need to go buy a bouquet of flowers, dear, and ask a very important question to an old lady. Is there an old day florist nearby, dear? One who
Absolutely.
specialises in grave.
Like a funerary wreath kind
Yes,
of thing. Sure,
I
yeah.
need a funerary wreath, preferably not one that's earmarked for little Joey or anything weird like that.
No one's going to miss little
Pour
Joe.
one out for little Joey.
He will take a beat and then will point to the one that he's been to, that you've both been
Yeah.
to before.
Ah, yes, I remember, dear. Right. I'll go do that.
Yeah, cool.
Do you mind watching the kids when?
I'll give him a light show. And I use my illusions to give him a nice light show.
Little ravers. Okay. Yeah, so I'll go get
What question are you seeking
a
with this?
wreath. Jesus, I've got two I need to ask. I forget if there's any rule against me using it twice. I know there is for augury, but I don't know if there
You used
is.
a serious voice. I recognise that from Ignatia. You've done something really bad.
Done nothing, my friend.
If you cast a spell 2 or more times before finishing a next long rest, there's a cumulative 25% chance.
Yeah. So it's I need to cast it. I need to cast it once and pick my spell. We're staying in Harlan for one more day, aren't we?
We need to arrange passage on a ship next, I believe, which we've not done yet.
Yeah.
I think I want to ask the other question then.
Okay, go for it.
So I get my wreath.
Mm-hmm.
I take it somewhere secluded that's close to a transition point, like a bridge, I think is a good point.
There's 3 enormous bridges, which there's the King's Bridge, the Queen's Bridge, and the People's Bridge.
And they work beautifully. She takes the wreath, puts it on, hopefully it's not too fucking massive. It needs to be 25 gold's worth of stuff.
Just nicer flowers.
Yeah, just nicer
Fresher.
Fresher, yeah. And then as she scatters them into the thing, she asks the question of, where is Mr. Harbinger's wife?
Now, we've
We've
talked a
discussed
little
this
bit
recently,
about this.
yeah.
Okay. This is not something either of us ever really intended to be in-game stuff. Are you happy for me to...
Go for it. Go for it. Legitimate question.
I think you feel a very cold wind blow. It sort of rustles there. You're like, are you on one of the big bridges? All those bridges are like lined with market stalls, like old London Bridge was. And all of the like wind chimes and stuff in one of the stalls behind you all blow at once as this really freezing wind blows through. And you get this vision of the interior of a dusty bar somewhere out in the Badlands, in the Outlands. And you can see that there are a number of people in there who are very, very mercenary dressed and very and they appear to be sort of... You get a very bad vibe from them. Not a like an Eyes of the Grave bad. But these are bad people vibe. And then you do get a bit of that Eyes of the Grave vibe as you hear 2 gunshots ring out from somewhere in the bar, and you see both of them topple to the ground, and you can smell like gun smoke and a violently angry spirit.
And then the vision ends.
Mm-hmm. You don't get that it's an undead creature. It's something more, or possibly sideways from that. The thing is not like a revenant. It's not a vampire, certainly. It doesn't have that iron stench to the Eyes of the Grave there. But it's more like a force of intent.
But not alive.
But also not undead. You might say it as some kind of ghastly sheriff. Cool.
Okay.
What's everyone else doing at this moment?
The kids, one of them wants to be like a paladin or something when they grow up, right?
He did 3 weeks ago, and that's probably still true, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Paladin wizard.
Yeah.
Paladin wizard. Okay, in that case, I'd like to use illusions to make them look like paladins and wizards.
You cause the young man like this illusory suit of
armor,
precursor plate mail across his body,
and illusory wizard robes,
like a big long wizard beard and a pointy hat, and they are like dueling with these like hard light holograms of the big cotton bud things they use on gladiators. Yeah. I'm so glad you were with me on that one. Yeah. And
We're doing it somewhere where there's not too much breakable stuff to avoid Augustine. Like if Augustine has a back garden or something.
I'll tell you what, actually. You were asking the old lady about that, weren't you?
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you and go back to that.
No, it's fine.
The sense you get is approval.
Interesting.
Specifically from the old lady, there is it is like a burning righteous justice to what is being done, and you're not sure what the aim or the intent is, but there is rightness of purpose that you rarely see outside of like paladins, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So Will is, creating like costumes of, wizards and things, and tremendous time. Augustine, continuing to drink.
No, he's just staring at me.
Sweet, good note.
Every so often he looks around the room just to make sure it's not pulsating.
It isn't, yeah. Oh, it's horrible. I'm so pleased with myself. Peristalsis. Misty, you're working on secret projects.
Not if. So at
We
that
would have
point-
been doing it beforehand.
Yeah.
Oh,
but-
okay, yeah.
But now that Lily's left with parted ways slightly, she's rolled a 1 to judge your mood, and so thinks that you're worried about what Lily thinks of you, and is basically sharing her Misty's tips on how she won Ignatia back on side, which 50% is puppy dog eyes. So again, she's
Roll for
she's
puppy dog eyes, Augustine.
she's
Please
completely.
give him advantage. This is a disadvantage.
Performance, I'm assuming?
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah, why not?
That would be 17.
Yeah, not
So,
bad.
what I'm imagining is the food critic from Ratatouille doing the big Disney eyes from Lilo and Stitch.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
so you're doing it technically well, is what I would say. Yeah, I'd say that's a 10-minute casting of divination. So I think probably you're only gone maybe 35 minutes at this point.
Yeah, so I come back in the room and I'm kind of like, right, now, Jesus, right, our particular issues with whatever is going on, deity, in terms of either God, bank, whatever, I need to ask the question tomorrow to see what the old lady thinks, because I need to get her weigh in on this. I don't know what she'll think at this point. What are you going to do?
He looks at the drink.
Oh, I see. That's where we've gotten to, have we? When
Big
you've got
mood.
into the end of the bottle and back out of it again, we'll circle back.
Fine.
We'll circle back. As your bank is like to know.
Cool. So in terms of booking passages, I know you're planning to do.
Yeah.
This is possibly one of the best places in the world. If it is certainly the best place in this hemisphere to do that. There are any number of barges, brigs, other boats beginning with B, and ones not beginning with B that you could hire. That will be. Don't worry about like a gold cost. Do that as part of like narrative gold. But
Similar to the barge we got here, Augustine will get another bag of money.
Oh, all right then.
Happy for the distraction. Once
Sure,
more, to
okay.
find another expedition.
In that case, you get like a little sort of like a catamaran yacht. That is it like has like a little air elemental sort of playing around the sails, which looks like it has been sort of not like bound. It is kind of working a job, but it's sort of
I'm
like
happy to do so.
Freely employed.
Gainfully employed, yeah.
Oh, nice.
And it's sort of billowing the sails out quite artistically. It's a much shorter journey. I think it's probably you're going to be like, if you set off like now, you would get to the site probably tomorrow morning, midday. But if you're going full yacht, that can be ready to go within a couple of hours.
Am I worried about the yacht exploding while we're underwater?
Why would it explode?
I don't
You're on
know. We're on it.
No, you're on it.
I'm just trying to.
It would probably be something slightly more sturdy than you, because just in case we bring back salvage as well.
I'm judging the kind of like, do I take the grandkids with us onto a nice yacht journey, or do I leave them with Ignatia kind of thing? And it's like,
Oh, I'm happy to take
a
them
luxury barge.
I know. Do you fancy a yacht journey?
Me?
Yeah, we've got a yacht. Unless you're busy. I mean, and you'll need to watch the grandkids, but
I think what you're looking at is like a woman who knows she has tutorials to run,
like,
and also knows that she has overworked herself for years and years and years to the point where the department owes her tenure and she doesn't have it. So those are favours that she can pull in.
I put a hand on her shoulder. Didi, you need a yacht, I think. You look like an... And I'm certain we can arrange a masseuse.
Alright.
No expenses spared.
He's very free with
you
his
okay?
money. No. There is a thing. And
Alright.
not your
Just
problem.
need the day.
Okay, sure, I'll come on. I've got to send a few notes, but I'll meet you down at the marina. Yeah, sure, okay, yeah, fine.
All you gotta do is just watch some grandkids, and they're very well behaved.
Yeah. I think not wishing to have these two characters cross the streams again, but I think Georgia does come and find you at some point, and has a little hands you a little like wrapped box with a ribbon around it. Just what you see. Thank you for everything that you've done, and I know I know that I yelled at you a bit for not being my grandma the first time we met.
You did,
but
dearie, but that's fine. I'm your grandma. That's okay.
you can also see that she has one of the biggest dogs you have ever seen. This thing is like
she's rich. Of course.
It's like it's the jowliest motherfucker in the world. Like the tongue is like 8 inches long.
Enjoy that dog. You could ride the thing.
Yeah, this thing it is one of those dogs that's so muscly it kind of looks like a person a bit. You know what I mean?
Oh
like,
yeah.
This thing could take chunks out of people who tried to mess with Flora, and I think that's probably part of the motivation there. But it also looks like the stupidest, softest thing in the world for her.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. You take care of yourself, dearie.
Thank you. Thank you all. I'll be around in town for a while, but
we're off on a yacht for a little while.
have fun.
We'll yes, that's what we'll do.
Yeah. The presentation box you open up, and it is a really finely master-crafted holy symbol. It's no mechanical effect, but it is a symbol of the old lady that is, it looks really like platinum wire and things like that. Yeah.
Thank you.
She won't stick around to watch you open that.
She's
it's far too embarrassing.
She's just kind of just like into
Sure.
herself. She's thank you, dearie. And she switches them out. Although she keeps the other one because it's very special. Then she goes to find Will. And Will, do you have a minute, dear?
Of course.
Can in private probably the best.
Okay. Alright, come on, kids. Go stay with our Auntie Misty.
There you go.
Ignatia, there you go. I forgot Ignatia was there.
Just hasn't left yet.
Yeah, that's fair. We'll just go to a room somewhere. Will, dearie, I remember you mentioning something about you said it in passing that you didn't know where your wife was buried. And I took it upon myself. I thought, well, it's kind of sad that you don't have a place to grieve. And one of the things that my order...
There's the statue of her in the park over there.
I know, dearie, but it's a little different than finding the actual, body and all that. And finding people and putting people to rest is kind of my thing, dear. So I was happy to do that and just went and thought, well, we're not going to be here longer. And you said she died here, so I thought I'll ask the question of the old lady and she'll be able to tell me, tell me where she's buried or where the bits of her remain left are.
Will is steeling himself, like especially after you mentioned bits of her. It's like, okay.
How sure are you she's actually, in the ground?
Well, I mean, there was a big battle. Lots of people died. They weren't able to identify remains of many people.
How badass was your wife?
Incredibly. Like, she rose through the ranks at a young age in the military on her merits alone. I was supporting her as a clerk in the army for many, many years. But she was the one who achieved.
Do you want to know?
Yes.
Right. I have it on very good authority that your wife isn't dead. But not quite alive either. I'm a bit unclear on that. I don't know. She's not vampire, zombie, or any other of those kinds of things as far as I can tell, or even revenant. She's some other kind of in the middle thing.
Would you class me as that same kind of in the middle thing?
I don't think so.
Roll me an insight check. I know it's a dangerous thing to ask, but roll me an insight check.
I mean, I'm asking questions because Will doesn't know the answer. But Ryan does.
24.
24. 24 is good. I think as you consider that question and ruminate on it, and you're both sitting there in silence, processing that information for a bit. No. Because Will is the instrument. Will is a warlock. He is, the hand that holds the.
He's more like a repaired human. Like he got close to the door but didn't walk through it. This person maybe dipped a toe or two.
Yes, but you also sense that there is a little bit of what Will is in that vision, and you sense that vision may not have been. You never saw the person in the vision. That person may not have been Major Harbinger, but her will was there. Her will was there. Her presence and her righteous anger was there.
Something of her, dear, is wandering around the deserts, out in the Badlands. Still doing good, as far as I can tell. There's a lot of people with holes in them, from what I can tell.
She was very good at that. From what I hear. I never actually made it to the front lines and saw for myself.
Something of her is still out there.
That's... Thank you, that's good to know.
I was hoping it would be a little bit of an easier...
No, this is fine, this is great, this is... means that the end that she had was not her final end.
I don't know much about what battle took place here, Thierry. I know of it, obviously, but I don't know, the ins and outs and all of that nonsense. So, maybe that would have been a good end, for her at least. But where she is now, I sense anger, a lot of that, but like a righteous fury more than... In a revenance, you get anger and vengeance in equal parts, but it's like like broken. Like getting the vengeance won't make them happy, that they'll just be more angry about it. This is different. It's like a purpose behind it. And the old lady seems to approve, so...
When we're done with this, I'm going to go find her.
I will, of course, give you what help I can, dear.
Thank you.
Now we have a yacht to get on to.
Yes, I might just go get a drink first, but...
You can't all be hammered on the ship.
I'm not going to get hammered. I can drink an entire bottle of whiskey and not get hammered.
Yeah, that's version.
Jesus.
I waited until the conversation
That's
was
fair.
over before posting.
Terrible. So about 2 o'clock, you all assemble by the marina with your various little osmotic membrane little backpacks sort of stowed away, and
Would Augustine want a bandolier of whiskey bottles?
little miniatures in shotgun mandolin.
Is this the next day?
No,
Or is it the
but
same
you
day?
will be getting a long rest on the boat as you go.
Okay.
You're going overnight.
And we've got a skipper to pilot it for us.
Yes, so it comes with is a runner. One of the little frog dudes is the actual sort of pilot of the boat. How's it going, lads? Pleased to meet you all. I'll be your pilot. My name's Oliver.
A lovely name, dear. A lovely name.
Thank you. Mini bars over there. The regular bars up there. There is a small jacuzzi, but we do have to get them to take the cover off that, and we will be replacing that in stormy weather if there is any stormy weather. So, not that you look to point to the bright azure sky, but it's part of the health and safety. I've got to do the whole routine. Now your lifeboats are located, and he starts doing the whole sort of commercial. But yeah, you can absolutely set sail. It's going to be about half a day's sail to get to the place. Does anyone have cartographer's tools as a proficiency?
As a proficient, I've got cartographer's tools. Yes.
Is that in the little bit on the left, Mike?
Yes.
Then yes, you do.
That's a proficiency.
Cool. I'm an artist for I got
Roll
loads
me
of
a
different
cartographer's tool, so roll me a proficient int check.
tools. Oh, you do spoil me. 15. So that's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20, perfect.
Yeah, I won't use flash of
So
inspiration.
you are heading up very slightly northeast, away from Harlan. Beautiful, like choppy seas, but not
like rough.
not rough. Yeah, absolutely. So you're sort of doing a bit of the sort of coasting on the waves as you go along. You're having a little bit more trouble like holding your chilled drinks on this one than you were on the way down the river, which is very smooth glass sailing.
Got a gyroscope, mate.
Just on a gimbal.
I love that we've had the same idea. I was like, I just rolled a 16 to try
Craft a
and
robot chicken to hold your drink.
Not a robot chicken, but like a literal gyroscope.
Very
for
good.
your glass, but yeah.
16, yeah, fine, sure. Real quick diversion.
Sorry, I've just realised as you tried to tip it into your mouth.
No! Why?
It's a surprise. No, what you got to do is put Augustine and the drink on a gyroscope. So you got to build a platform with a gyroscope under it.
I don't think a 16's going to cover it. Don't let me DM you, but that's...
Gyroscope is a real quick diversion here. One of my friends who was Ezekiel's player when Ezekiel was a PC rather than NPC is a musician, plays bass guitar. And do you know how the electric pickups work on an electric guitar or electric bass?
No.
Basically, as the string moves back and forth over the pickup, it generates a magnetic field. So if you get a gyroscope, as my friend discovered the other week, and start gyroscoping it and then put it onto a bass guitar, you can turn a bass guitar into a theremin. Which is wonderful. Yeah. Anyhow, You can make the most convoluted keyboard possible by having a series of rotating gyroscopes, and then when you press a key, it lowers a gyroscope towards a pickup. And the fact that that is not only possible, but relatively easy to do is incredible. Regardless. You are going along. Ignatia is obviously there looking after the kids. She is sort of doing like some schooling for them as well.
Yeah.
And she has a teaching accreditation for one thing, so you got to put it to use.
Yeah.
As you're going, Misty, you on that 30-20, you're heading over. You're going to like the closest bit of land to this is a series of small like atolls. These ring-shaped bits of land with like deep lagoons in the middle of them. That's maybe 2-3 hours away from where you think this crash site to be. You've got coordinates, but only to within maybe a couple of miles. So it's still going to be some work investigating when you get there to sort of work out where they are. But actually, those notes you took from the computer within Lady Chambers' office, those do give you these atolls as a reference point. Anyone who wants to can roll me a history check.
That was it.
Yeah.
Because would this be like a valley before the flood then, presumably? It's a 26, by the way.
So what this is probably the result of is some kind of geothermal activity which has pushed a volcanic spout up just above the waves, and it has been eroded down almost flat with the waves. And where the sort of crater of the spout has been filled in over time as it has become geologically inactive, that's where the lagoon has formed in the middle, where the crater would have been, in the sort of volcano-ish kind of thing. But the sea is a lot less deep right here. And as you go away, as you sort of approach those islands, you see the water becomes that very like cerulean, bluey green, glassy water rather than the deep, deep blue of the deep ocean. But on that 26 history, you know that there are mermaids around here. Mermaids, you're familiar with both like the storybook version of mermaids and more sort of the reality of mermaids. Because storybook mermaid is, lady half on the top, fish half on the bottom.
The real version is the other way around.
No, the real version is kind of definitely fish half on the bottom, mostly still fish half on the top. They are like blue skinned, like webbed fingered, and have the big sort of catfish barbels coming off their faces. They live sort of deep underwater, and are occasionally sort of caught up in nets, but that's usually ends more badly for the fisherman than the mermaid. But you do know these little atolls, the lagoons within them do. There are mermaid populations there. They are probably something along the line of the like the harpies you encountered way back in the first session, in that they are social and sentient, not necessarily sapient. They live socially but don't have a like a culture, as it were. But yeah, you are sort of on that 26. You are sort of steering the boat clearer of that area, and in fact the captain does sort of you point it out to the captain, he sort of does acknowledge it, and that was sort of something could be his mind, because the mermaid song, if they are looking for salvage or meat, they might be trying to draw people closer to the rocks of the atoll. You skirt all the way around it, and again as you go back over onto the deeper water, it swaps from the glassy blue-green to that deep blue, penetrating down almost to black down at the bottom of the ocean. Could I get a group investigation check?
For the mermaids, are there particular things that they prize or treasure apart from the flesh of the living? Like.
On a 26 26. I think, yeah, like, what would be a good example? What would be rare in the sea but common on land?
Not plastic.
In this era?
Take whatever the opposite of inspiration is.
Yeah.
I think maybe like metals, ones that you couldn't get from like seafloor accretions.
So,
glass maybe
yeah,
as well.
I was going to say modern by our standards, modern alloys and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, is it possible that I can carry at least a piece of that of some description?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just in case.
Oh, for sure. In your Tinker's Tools, when all the way back in Slumbering Hollow, when you just bought Artificer Gubbins for 50 gold.
Oh yes.
Yeah, there'll be
so-
bits and pieces.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So group investigation.
Yeah.
I'm gonna flush the genius it for me to make it a dirty 20.
8.
Chin chin.
17.
7.
So we're going to go with the 17. Yeah, you, Oliver, the captain, sort of, so lads, do you know what you're looking for? What we out here trying to find? Is it a...
Probably Deity would show up something like, we've heard tales of like giants in the water. That's kind of what we're looking for.
like the giant fish, or
It's not moving, we don't think. Like a
like a wreck?
yeah, Deity.
A metallic wreck.
Yes.
Interesting. Oh, right.
Something that maybe somebody have seen said, oh, I've seen a giant in the water, a sleeping giant, or something along those lines.
It's pretty good.
Maybe they saw a sleeping dragon. Tales or something along those lines might be close to what we're looking for.
I do know of this, what do you call it, a trench, where sailors sort of stay away from it a bit. It's tends to be if you leave your fishing nets down, things tend to tear them up. And
That sounds plausible, dear. Yes.
Yes.
quite well on his history check. Yeah, I can can I have a look at your charts? Yeah, on your little plastic thingy, the one you were looking for, and he sort of looks at that. Yeah, Devil's Trench.
Ah, good.
Is it always devils?
Sailors were a superstitious lot.
And you say something's actively ripping up their nets.
Aye. Hold a couple of boats as well.
Okay.
I was going to say it could just be nice currents, but that doesn't sound like currents if it's just ripping boats apart.
Could be the meadow. Hiding under the water.
That's true.
Okay.
You've got Ignatia, she'll deal with anything. And you've got a gun.
So continues writing with chalk with her writing hand, and then loads pistol with the other one. Well, we do have a whole security staff for our passengers' convenience as well. So rest assured, your belongings and personages will be well secured. But I gather you're going plumbing, is that right? Well, best of luck. We'll drop anchor on one of the reefs either side of the trench, and then we'll be here when you get back.
Cool. Down we go.
Do you know why you always fall backwards out of a boat if you're scuba diving?
No.
Because if you fell forwards, you'd still be in the boat.
Can we give you the opposite, whatever it is? The look of despair on my face.
You properly got me. I was so ready for a cool fact.
Ironically enough, that was fish on a reel right there. You
Mike's soul just left his body for a brief moment.
You three, you air breathers around here, clap on your things. Puts this sort of starts swapping in, and it's your brain won't be sending the signals. Your blood won't be sending the signals to your brain to make you want to breathe in oxygen because you won't be low on oxygen. What I will say here is you will still need to conserve air to cast spells.
Okay.
You will need to keep your mouth closed if you are going to use a spell with a vocal component. You will be able to cast spells, a number of spells, without needing to go back up for air, equal to 3 plus your Constitution modifier. Minimum 1. So if you have a negative, 4.
That's,
Very good. Yeah, so it'd be minimum of 3 plus 1. If you have a positive con mod, you can also add that to the 3 instead of the 1. Because as good as it is to not need oxygen, you still need to be able to move your vocal cords in the right way to cast vocal components. So just keep a track of that.
I'm not going to bother because I only have 2 spell slots anyway.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely fine.
Well, 3 if I
and you don't need to breathe anyway. So.
Anyway, yeah.
You just have a speaker in there.
Which probably works better underwater.
Yeah, a hydrophone. Oh, yeah.
Wait, does that mean that my spells are supercharged underwater?
No. Use your rules for underwater combat as well. There are, if you want to look up the particular ones, I've got them on mine, but...
we have swim speed, so we are fine, I think.
Yes, I think there are some weapons that still...
That's only if you don't have swim speed.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Yeah, if you have a swim speed, all of those rules just fly out the window, except for ranged weapons, which are still have the same things.
That's why I wanted to have a swim speed, because I'm a melee fighter.
Cool. You jump into the water. The water is still warm on the surface where the sun is beating down it, but it does quickly go to cold as you descend down. Will, you are having a job. You're having to use your swim speed to not plummet like an actual rock, but weighing as much as you do and being as metal as you are. But yeah, the little. I presume you're popping the module. Yeah. This thing is sort of like the sort of vents and this sort of fusion engine sort of. It doesn't look like stable technology, but it does look at least reliable. So that sort of kicks into gear, and out of like the top flap of the duster, you can see this sort of.
So where my jetpack normally sits, I think that's probably what's been
co-opted,
modified to instead
that.
of jetpack, it's now just doing. It's got a turbine in it or something.
That was exactly what I was going to suggest. Yeah. As you descend into the water, it becomes cold, and the sound just begins to muffle. You can hear bubbles coming from the vents below.
I'm just going to get on comms with everyone.
Yeah, perfect.
And keep those open.
Absolutely. You can see the reef down below you. These myriad of tiny, colourful fish and corals and all sorts of things. You can also see a number of bits of ship down below. Maybe not more than you'd expect to see. You're not sure. I doubt any of you have been diving in the middle of the ocean previously. But as you get into that sort of like pelagic zone where the water is still lit from above, but is beginning to take on that very pale green hue of everything just going dark and extending out, you can also see creatures out in the distance. Not just the occasional merrow you see giving you a wary distance, but also big reef sharks and hammerheads and longer sort of sinuous serpentine eels, and even some like reptilian long-necked creatures, all of which are taking an interest but also keeping a wary distance.
I'll make sure that I've got my sword summoned.
We down this deep, unless everyone has dark vision, we've got to have like some kind of light source. We're like.
So when you are in the pelagic zone, that is where there is still light, so you can still see. You might be you're probably having disadvantage to see things that are so far away that they are blurring with the water, but this far down, you still have your full. Your eyes are stinging a little from the salt, but you are. It takes a little time to get used to it, and then the little blood scrubbers that removing salt from your systems that Misty has included in these capes and lingerie clear your vision. You almost feel a pulse in your eyes that sort of ebbs and then lessens, and you begin to swim further down, and you hit the edge of this yawning trench that sits down below. And yeah, you can see bits of ship and various other things around here before it goes into this sort of probably half-mile wide.
Is there like a
trench.
current that pulls down as well?
A little bit of that, yeah, where the water is colder below and is sort of cycling the cold,
And
the
it's
warm. Yeah.
getting darker as well. So
Yeah.
like Lily will look to all you guys and then just kind of point downwards. You can't speak, so.
Can I get a perception check?
$15.
12.
Can I flash to inspiration it?
Yeah.
21.
I'm going to use my inspiration though.
Cool.
That's going to be 27 now.
27.
That's 20.
You kept that quiet, crafty fucker. So on a 27, what you get a really good view of is the bits of ship
That's
as you are
coming
coming through.
merch.
Between the... You kept that one quiet, you crafty fucker.
Not a coaster.
Oh,
Ship it.
I would quite like that. I ship it. Yeah, you get a view. Some of these ships are older than others. None of them appear to be much older than, let's say, the human population of Molan. Like you're looking at they're probably 20 years. Some of them are, like begin to become barnacle encrusted, and the wood is beginning to warp and rot. And like little bivalves are boring their way through the wood and will eventually reduce them to splinters and then dust and then nothing. But you can see some of these have like holes punched through the decks and the hulls of the ships, just very occasionally, like something like piercing probably, and but what puts you in mind is like a harpoon or something.
Yeah.
Which maybe the marrow, if they are
they like that or are they like that?
probably only like the thing that made it was probably only about yay big.
Right.
You also clock there are a number of skeletons of sort of drowned sailors gone off to the locker, strewn amongst the wreckage. No spirits, salt and water have washed all things clean as they do. So there's no... This is a grave, but it is not the grave of an unquiet dead. It is the grave of a sailor.
Yeah.
On a natural 20, you are coming over and your foot catches... As you sort of settle down onto the bottom on the reef, your foot catches on some coral and dislodges it, and you just... catch a glimpse of something underneath the coral, underneath all these myriad bivalves. And it looks like graffiti or something. Do you investigate it any further?
Absolutely.
You get your sword out and you pry some of these corals off and scatter them, and little fish come in to feed on the bits of coral and anemones that have been... And as the dust clears away, it is the outline of like a skeletal hand, but not the bone. It is the like ash outline of something that has been blasted and the shadow of it has been left on the rock.
Right.
And as you clear away, you begin to see like the rest of the arm appear. You get sort of this section originally, which is why you thought it was like writing, but then it just was just the arm bones. You clear away, you see the arm, you bring up rib cage, and then skull. And then you start clearing away from the clavicles, and you see that probably 40% of the area of this shadow is the body. Most of it is wings.
Huh.
Interesting.
What's the size of this thing?
It would be a medium creature.
Okay.
How many
This is-
fingers does it have?
That is a dynamite fucking question. I'm going to say 3.
And this is in the coral before the trench.
Yeah. This on the natural 20 with the 27 as well. This looks old. This was here long before the reef was, that kind of thing.
Possibly this is the thing that the downed mech was fighting. Maybe they took each other out.
This looks in size and scale much like the Hound Archon you fought.
Possibly this is one of many that was taken up by this thing.
Yeah. You're aware that the Aishna drones were supposed to be fighting gods, but that's not. Doesn't mean they were the only foot soldiers in the army.
Does this trench, thinking about what's here, does this trench give me more an idea of like, this isn't a seismic activity, this is a wound?
It's difficult to tell. Roll me a nature check. It'd be a tricky one.
No. 9.
It is difficult to tell whether this could be like a blast has cut a swath through the seafloor. Equally, it could be that currents have washed things down here.
Yeah.
It could be natural. It is hard to tell 20,000-year-old blast damage from 20,000-year-old seismic activity.
If I go like 10 metres away and dig up the coral again, do I find another body?
How long are you spending doing that?
It's not very. It's more to see is the entire reef.
Yeah. I would like to assist because I'm curious to know, is this one dead foot shoulder or are we sitting in a mass grave?
Yeah.
Great question. Okay, I'm going to say...
I will also assist with this.
in that case, everyone who wants to roll me investigation.
Can I also obtain a small piece of bone as well?
There is no bone, it is shadow on the rock.
Oh, shadow on the rock. Sorry, yes. Okay, yes. Was it?
You can obtain some of the rock. I'm just managing expectations.
No, yeah, no.
Investigation?
16.
16?
24.
18.
15.
Misty.
Yeah.
You are going away, and of course you have a tool for this, for clearing. It's a little sonic cleaner, basically. And whereas everyone else is like chipping away with weapons, you're there just sort of sending little pulses of like concentrated sonar through the water. You're not in a mass grave, but you do find more of these blast shadows. Not many more, but over maybe 10 minutes of you all doing this, I think the rest of you discover one between you. You just maybe discover another 2. So there is more than one angel that was atomized here.
Do we get the impression that they were all the same like type, or are we looking at multiple types?
Who reads Celestial here?
Yo.
Cool. So you obviously discover the skeletal one. You discover another skeletal ones. Both of you each discover a word that is etched, very much is graffiti, is etched into there, written in Celestial.
Okay.
And the word, I think you will see like, it will say like Dies Irae.
No gods?
No, that is the day of anger.
Oh.
You get that like ghost memory going through your head again of fighting Lantern Archons at Novem, which were very literally words spoken by gods which took on form. And whereas the skeleton of an angel with wings looks like the ones you were finding, possibly the remains of a Lantern Archon that has been fixed in place and has become atomized. It has been sort of forced to take on a single form, and therefore has become a word rather than...
Its remains are rather than leaving a scorched silhouette of a skeleton, just the scorched silhouette of
a word.
Words.
Yeah, precisely that.
That's cool.
Thank you. I made that up on the spot. But yeah, that is what you see. Like again, this is all. I think the one thing you get a sense of is how powerful must be something to etch it into the rock and it still be here after all this time.
Yeah.
Those actually where you're collecting some of the rock for your sort of alchemical business, you sort of drill down. Those shadows are burned deep into the rock there.
My other question is going to be, based on the scorch marks, can we do, can we work out the trajectory of where this was fired from, and are they all leading to the same place? And will that lead us to it, or is it actually that this was a much more mobile combat?
Oh, that's just a maths. That's the maths problem, my brother.
Yeah.
Roll me an intelligence check.
I forgot to do this earlier, so if you look up.
I'm going to spend a luck
Well,
point.
before you do, you're on comms, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Ignatia will give you the help action.
Oh, okay.
For someone who can just do maths for you on the surface, she will be... Oh, you better believe that she is sending private DMs to you asking what's going on as well.
Oh, yeah. Is it possible to basically live stream what we can see?
I'd say absolutely, yeah. With your little eyepieces.
Yeah,
and
I have no
my
reason...
eyes.
just your actual eyes, yeah.
Yeah. I have zero reason to keep her in the dark about this, so I am going to use my luck point because the help action was actually worse. Like, that's not an Ignatia. That's
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Oi, Misty! Misty, what are you doing? What'd you get?
This is a woman who does not know how to have a holiday.
Yeah,
for real.
One last. There we go. It's actually above 10 this time. There we go.
Cool.
23.
Okay, in that case, I think what you'll discover there is that Lillian's idea that was sent through to you that maybe this was a weapon that caused this is more likely to be true. It was some kind of beam hit from above, and...
From a satellite?
No, probably not. Unless it was passing through an enormous amount of atmosphere, probably not.
More like a god.
Or something the size of a god.
Yeah. Something in that area.
But yeah, some kind of beam hit Angels out of the air, boiled the sea away to bare rock below it, and before the sea could crash back in, burned them so far into the rock that they are still here.
It's a rock tattoo, effectively.
Yeah, kinda.
Okay.
Down into the hole of the...
You sink even lower. The water begins to get freezing cold. You're protected by Misty's sort of invention. It is also warming the blood as it goes back into your body.
I was pondering about that feature. Yeah.
I just get more efficient.
I think that's all part of swim speed. But
This is better. It's like something about sinking data centers. And it's like, oh, yeah.
It begins to get sepulchrally quiet and dark down here. At this point, yeah, you
I am
are.
going to need to pull out a flashlight or something.
Are you carrying the shield?
I am carrying the shield.
Cool. You can put a
Yeah, I can just make it emit sunlight.
yeah.
Even without using charges, it just passes the passive sunlight.
That is correct. Yeah. You also have
I have dark-
cast light.
I have
and
dark
you have dark
vision,
vision as well.
So before he turns his light on, can I see all the... Because once it's dark and we're no longer like the weirdest thing down here in the nicest possible way, do more fish get more curious and get closer to us? And then he flips the light on and they go...
I will
It's a
warn
lovely image. So
I'm going
yes.
to warn people before I turn it on because I
Destroy
can still
them.
communicate because I don't need
Yeah.
oxygen
Yeah.
for that, right?
I'll allow it. Honestly, I like it. Yeah. You. Like it's like a searchlight coming on a submersible, and it cuts a like swath through the darkness.
30-foot radius of bright light and a further 30 foot of dim light. This light is sunlight.
Okay. The slightly thalassophobic, unsettling thing as you turn that on, this cone of light emitting out, is that it hits nothing. You just get this sense of how unimaginably vast this, even this canyon is, even this sort of narrow canyon. You're not even hitting the sides of it, and it's not close. And you sink further and further down until just on the edge of your dark vision and your light, your dim light, you begin to see like glints from the of like fish that are maybe settling on the seafloor. And you see big rents and gouges in the rocky walls as the canyon narrows and narrows to not quite a point, but to where you can kind of see at least both sides of it with the edge of your dark vision.
Mm-hmm.
You settle down on the seafloor. It is eerily and deathly quiet here. So if you select Lily there, I don't know if you can see.
Left-hand corner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If you want to use Lily as the yeah.
I've managed to select all of them somehow.
You don't have a release on left click.
I should do.
If you try changing to the ruler tool and then away again, that usually does it for me.
That's not. Is that Lily? Yeah.
This one is Lily.
That's it.
Oh no, I've still got the ruler tool selected.
Yeah, because I can see.
Yeah. So you basically
Very dark.
It is very dark.
it is even with the like the torch and even in your dark vision, it's almost this is a secret bit of the world that people of your biology were never meant to see.
Mm.
And yeah, feel free to begin moving your.
I think we'll go forward until we can find either
What's that?
the drone or.
Wait, that. Oh no.
It's everywhere.
That's a hand.
Yeah. I see. Possibly not.
Stop there.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say not super close to the hand.
Please.
Could I get a perception check from everyone as you sort of are you swimming like pod formation over like dolphins?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
And you at this point you can walk on the seafloor. It's kind of a bumpy scramble, but
It's a 15.
15.
27.
22.
22. Okay. Augustine, you can see that this thing has been extremely badly damaged. Both legs are like missing at the knee. There are huge rents in the armor. But the other thing you can see is another of those like sort of metal plates almost that has symbols, holy symbols arrayed on it in various what do you call it? Like rows.
Yeah.
That's a weird word to forget. On a 27, you catch just a hint of movement from somewhere on the body of the drone, but like in a crease, in like in a seam or a gap between the armor plates.
So I kind of go and point to where I saw it. The other, like, the other drones they had like little helper thingies. The little.
That was the base, wasn't it? That had the little robots.
See that they.
You think it's at least on the same scale as those? They would be small or tiny things. Yeah.
There's like something similar.
Okay.
Can I do a device ping?
I was about to say do a ping.
Yes. No, that didn't even sound there. Boom. You send a little sonar ping out almost, and yeah, a couple of things do light up. In fact, if you get the option that if you wanted to, you could literally light something up.
Yeah, why not?
Wait, I feel I should post the GIF of that's bait, but yeah.
Over, let's see, that's the one, isn't it? Over here, you sense something that work?
Oh yeah, I see a little light there.
Yeah. You swim over to where that light turned on, and you find Artificer Tech. This is new. This is definitely new. This is like kind of your kind of thing.
This would be the vampires.
It looks like
camp, I guess.
someone has dropped like a drift globe, effectively.
Oh.
And it has sort of tumbled away and been lost in the sand, but you pinged it and sort of switched it on. It is illuminating that sort of just that little area around it.
It looks like it's giving a better illumination than the light that we've got, or is that?
Yeah, what I can do.
Well, technically yours is daylight, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, so that would be.
I'm
There's no
just-
point carrying this thing around because your shield is better.
Probably equivalent.
I'd say
Unless
it's-
it was specifically designed for underwater, it might have been specifically designed to illuminate water better somehow. I
I
don't
just
know
use
how
the
that
draw light
works.
source tool, man. I'll tell you.
But,
Narratively, it won't be better.
I'll turn it off though. And how big is this thing?
Grapefruit.
Oh, yeah, just in case.
Yeah.
yeah.
Get separated all.
Yeah. But feel free to continue if you wish to.
What happens if we were to ping a message out on the data pad?
Yeah, can I find like a
The pilot.
do a search for a network device,
Because what's
like a CPU or
what's our highest clearance? Is it still row?
Yes.
Yes. So can we transmit?
the row clearance access?
Row clearance access. I don't know.
User identifier.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay. Roll me a technology check.
I will provide the help action.
Okay. 30.
Cool. You do exactly that. You send out basically a clearance code, like a not you don't send out like your access, but you send out the clearance your access gives you.
Yeah.
And there's definitely something out there, but you don't think it's coming from the drone. Roll me a history check. You can roll this as well, specifically.
21.
21.
You both recall in the same moment, you sort of meet your eyes and go, you remember the Wingbreaker protocol? When it crashed,
Oh, yes.
Oh,
yeah.
it had a virus on it that was meant to eat its operating system in the event of a crash. You think that possibly something similar has happened here. You also begin to see bits of peeled back metal, but not peeled by whatever hit this thing all those years ago. Recent excavatory peeling back and things being revealed within. And yeah, very obvious evidence of someone having climbed into the chest cavity of this thing.
That's where the pilot would have sat.
Integrated. Yeah, it would have been certainly in the chest cavity, which was also where the pilot was. Yeah. I think, if I recall correctly, you looked at this model and didn't think it was one that did have a pilot. And actually, as you, do you want to move sort of more over the chest cavity and head?
Okay, so we're not actually on it, but
Yeah, just sort of above it with your swim speed. You look down and actually you had a good route through the drone in Site 5, and yeah, there is no such sarcophagus. Yeah. You clock another of those swiveling movements.
Point it out, and then I go.
probably foxes.
Okay.
Shagging in the bin.
Where's it coming from?
Outside.
The shagging foxes. They're inside the house.
No! I point it out, and
Yeah.
then I say, Dee Dee, can you ping that thing?
I'll also.
It does look like these are security protected, whereas like the drift globe was just a light switch. This is something that has some kind of security.
But is this Artificer or Martel?
Definitely Artificer.
Okay.
Somebody loves some protection. So. We're looking.
So when I asked where's the...
There are actually maybe a half dozen that you've noticed now, and they are sort of dotted around this thing.
Can I go? What are we? We're looking for the teleporter, right?
Yeah, it's a bit. Yeah, I was about to say something similar. It's like it's a bit late to ask this question. Why did we come down here?
I remember
Seemed
we
like a
were
good
looking
idea.
for the teleporter, and
Yes,
I'm trying to
This
remember
is your
where it
rodeo.
is.
Yeah, I know. We came down here to get into space, and I may have forgotten the logical leap that I made.
It's like there's a bit in the middle there.
Yeah, I think the teleporter was why we'd.
Yeah,
Because they gave us coordinates, right, and we need a teleporter.
It's
So-
up in space somewhere. Yeah.
Could we,
So I
using
go-
the knowledge of what we gained from Lady Chambers' desktop, are we able to figure out? Are we able to know what kind of security protections they might have, and maybe do a quick hacking check?
Can I send something Missy? It's like, Missy dearie, those security drones, if you were going to build them, they would be suited for underwater, and they would have like all the kind of stuff that we have on right now, but they might not be suited for land. Yes.
Theoretically, but if it was also a harpoon, that will do just as much damage.
Presumably, but it wouldn't be able to move around.
Probably not.
Where do you think the teleporter is on this thing?
Where do I think the teleporter is?
You don't know. You're going to have to get into this thing and
Yes.
route around.
Did we not see them remove it from the one in Site 5 via the
But
camera?
they're all different.
Oh, so it wouldn't be the same.
One thing you're aware of, especially from watching the black box footage, is this thing can rearrange its internals almost at will.
Yeah.
I think we need to deactivate the security mechanism before we can then get in there and.
Well, the second we touch them, it's going to probably set. The second we touch the big robot, it's probably going to trigger off all the security protocols.
Well, can we try and hack in and switch them off?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I will make a hacker's tools check.
Can I assist?
Unless you want to give it a go, and I can assist you.
I'm also happy to. I don't mind either way around, really.
Tell you what, I'd like to give it a go.
Yeah.
Cool. So what specifically are you doing?
Okay, I am attempting to access the security protocols of this guard turret or whatever it is, and try and just basically.
No. Switching them off might initiate a booby trap. Add us to the whitelist.
Yeah, make us paint it as friendlies.
Cool.
And again, I'm help action.
So yeah, you roll me that hacker's check.
Okay.
And I'll also flash of genius G, so you can add 5 to whatever your result is.
Okay, and you're giving me the help action.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so
Because this is not one we want to fail.
31.
Good night. You hack into these, whatever they are. You're not quite sure what they are. But as Misty gives you that warning, don't deactivate them. Just see if you can insert the code in there to have us, whitelisted. You do so. You wait a couple of seconds in this still, dark, cold place, and nothing appears to happen.
Do I get a sense that they do have some computer protocols in them. I didn't just fling it out into the void. I did actually.
You connected to something and injected a length of code.
Can I take something in like Tinker's tool or something? So something man-made, and then throw it. Well, kind of drop it down so it touches the actual exoskeleton in this thing to see if it
penny or something.
Yeah, see if it provokes a response.
Nothing does. No.
Do I also hang on?
Do
I get the feeling that if I add that I would need to add the friend ID thing to every individual one of these?
No, this is into the in terms of the actual artificer stuff for the these little whatever they are, cameras or something. You, from the look of them, they are swiveling and sort of almost looking, but you're not quite sure what the purpose of them is.
Is there a live feed going somewhere from this?
The artificer technology, is now ignoring you. They are not turning to face you.
Okay.
So, Lillian just is already swimming down.
Cool. I'll follow.
As you swim down.
Put my boots on the top of its chest somewhere. Doof, doof.
As you doom, a red glow comes from some way off and just and you all hear a sort of guttural static voice in Precursor say,
"Celestial incursion detected."
What was the second?
Celestial incursion detected.
Yeah. These claws, vast claws, come digging out of the ground some way off. Not in the drone. These are big creatures, but they are not the size of this drone. In fact, you might say they look exactly like this.
Ooh.
Oh my god. Tell you something fun about those. You get 2 in a box. Do you want to pop one of those basically either side of the chest cavity there?
I'll let you guys have a look.
It looks like these have, by the way, the exact same architecture as the
Beautiful.
Thank you. They have the exact same architecture as the drone. These are definitely original Immortal drones. They actually look like they are disgorging from pods in the side of the bigger Mark IV drone. Yes. At this point, what I would ask you is, could you roll initiative? 10:30 cutoff, I am assuming?
Yes, please.
That is absolutely fine. I think we are probably going to be fine. Cool. Yeah, these Mark I Aishna drones barrel their way out. You can see they have these big sawing blades on the side and big crushing things. You also see that on the sort of top going outwards, they have big chain-linked harpoons on the sort of in like servo turrets that are moving independently of the movement of these things.
Yeah, those.
And both of them look directly at you.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
But the marker light turrets, the vampires left behind, aren't going to be giving them advantage in all their attack rolls. Cool. Can I get a pen, please, Rich? Or a pencil, or... Oh, no, they're over there now.
Yes, I've got them here because I put all my D&D stuff over here.
There's a big arbor box here. I
Tremendous.
can open that up and get your pen from there.
You could.
I have no doubt that is the case.
I had to think for a second.
Joe,
Yes.
yes.
In that
During
box, you could.
initiative, there's a small box in the basket there.
This one?
Yes, there's a like a sandwich box, or a lunch box, which I believe should have the initiative hangers.
It do.
Okay, so...
Which Brad very kindly made for us, and then we forgot to use this entire
It's
campaign.
fine.
I'm just shit.
They're more like
They'll be nice to have at the end.
Yeah. Okay, yes. So I am going to need to write down the initiatives anyway.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. I just thought whilst I remembered about it,
Cool.
rather than forgetting. I got 8. Rolled a 9 on the dice. -1.
Lillian.
19.
Nice. Augustine.
Not 20 for 25.
Nice. Misty.
13.
And these two. Oof. Oof. Sweet. Okay, so Augustine is going to be up first. Then Misty. No, then Lillian. Beg pardon. Oh dear. Then Will. Then Blue Boy. Then your other man. Cool.
Wow, they're slow.
Augustine. Dex is not their highlight. You can see these things have just churned the water to mud and bits of chips of rock as they have exploded outwards, sort of coming online. You can see like there are big fusion engines in the centre of their chest that are buzzing to life and this hot glow coming from within. You can also see that one of them, the water around begins to sort of spark with electricity, and the other, the water begins to boil around it.
I'm more afraid of the spark one than the boily one, so I'll head over to the boily one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do it, even though I suspect nothing will happen. I'm
Yep.
going to at least attempt to do it on off.
I was thinking the same thing.
Okay, so I am going to say, if you are just casting on off, roll me a technology check. What's the maximum you can roll on technology?
If I crit, 28.
Cool. Roll technology.
No. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to spend my destiny point.
Okay, so for free in that case, on the information you'll get, on-off doesn't work. That is not to say these things couldn't be hacked locally.
Yeah.
You do not currently have the tools to do that. The skill you haven't taken hackers tools, am I right?
No.
Yeah. What you can share, if you wish to, with your compatriots here is that these things could be hacked. Out of character, what that would mean is you'd be spending successes to hack each drone.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on when you did the hackers tools, you get a number of successes, but it's per drone, not per or not per network. Yeah. Cool. Anything else new, Sam?
Nope. I'll come round behind it.
Lillian.
Lily holds up a finger and a small blue drop of water appears, and then she casts control water and creates a whirlpool here-ish.
Okay.
It's a 50-foot radius.
So it is
here.
so it is encapsulating that one closest to me.
Yeah, because I can't really kill us all with a whirlpool.
Great note. What does the whirlpool do specifically?
So, the whirlpool is 50 foot square.
Yep.
50 feet wide at the top, 25 feet tall. Any creature or object within the 25 feet where it's pulled 10 feet to the middle. Creatures away can swim away from it by making an athletics check against this my spell save DC. When a creature enters the first time or starts its turn there, it must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 2d8 bludgeoning damage and is caught in the vortex until the spell ends.
Cool.
On a successful save, it takes half and then isn't caught, but needs to still swim his ass out.
Sure.
And I would just want to put the edge as close to us as possible. Actually, no, wait, we can't, because then we'll also get sucked in, because it still sucks you in if you're 10 feet away from it.
Mm-hmm.
10 feet away from it, like there.
You want to gain the circles. I got you. Yeah. Fully good. Sweet. Anything else, Nissan?
I will move this way.
Misty.
Can I attempt to hack the other one, please?
The furthest one away? Yes, please
Yeah.
make me a Hacker's Tools check.
Cool. I'm gonna lucky and
Yep.
This is currently 23. Do I want 23 is not bad. I'll stick with that and then we'll wait to see how hard they hit. So
Right.
yeah, 23.
Yeah, cool. You get on the wrist pad. You start sort of burning through lines of code. It's a good thing your Slate datapad works underwater. Is one thing I'll say there. You are like finding the sort of different circuits in there that are controlling it and trying to sort of shut down. Like trying to navigate. Is that like weaponry? Is that movement? Sort of you're having to do this like layer by layer of this thing. But until you can shut down all systems simultaneously, the programming is actively fighting you.
Yeah. Do I get the impression that I've made progress, as in scored at least
you
a
have.
success?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I'm going to move back away from the whirlpool.
Yeah.
Across and then back.
I think we both made the same mistake. I think the scale is not what we think it is.
It is
I'm not
somewhat
too-
academic, but
I mean,
yeah,
I could zoom this in if we wanted.
No,
it's fine.
it's fine.
Say that this is the scale because why not? You know.
Sure.
Yeah. Cool. That was Misty. Anything else in your turn?
Don't think so, because our swim speed's 60 feet as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So-
Okay,
Then probably the scale is quite right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What's your turn?
Okay, so my original thinking was I was going to banish one of them.
Ooh.
But since you put that whirlpool up, I don't want. I'll sit on that for the moment.
He can pool in his whirls.
Yeah. I might go for another Hacker's Tools check on the same one that Misty has already gone for.
Great. Yeah. Divide and conquer. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Combine and conquer. Command and conquer. Roll me a Hacker's Tool check.
That's a 12.
Cool. You are sort of going through. I think the thing you come across is that you are doing everything you would normally do.
Sorry, can I spend my inspiration point to give him advantage?
I'll say yeah.
Because it's a full inspiration point.
Yeah,
as well,
absolutely
so,
fine.
Cool. Well, we just put that back as that was and roll the other one. Much better. That's a 22.
There we go.
22. So the thing you initially come up against is that this is hang on a second. There we go. The thing you initially come up against is that you're doing everything you normally do to hack in, but your programming doesn't seem to be kind of compatible. And you get a sense of how far Leviathan moved away from the original Immortal programming in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Because if this was the same software version, you'd be able to just go straight in and do it. It does take you a second to adjust, and you are sort of taking in data streams, directly downloading them into your brain from Misty's device as well, as you sort of network your brain with Misty's datapad and then begin lending your processing power to it. Yeah, you absolutely start continue hacking away. Cool.
And then I'm going to move in and provide flanking to Augustine.
Perfect. One of those is painted green, one of them is painted blue. Can you tell me which one is the blue one? The blue one has yellow and black stripes on its shoulder plate.
Blue. Green.
Cool. The one closest.
You said you were going for the one that was doing electricity, right?
No.
You were going for the one that was boiling.
Yeah.
Is that the right way around, or do we need to switch?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. So that one the furthest one away from me, the one that had the boiling water around its fist, is that sort of fusion generator sort of pumps superheated water out of itself. Probably would be fire in any other scenario. Is going to round on you and fire its one of its harpoons at you.
Sure.
Ooh, I want to check some of my feats real quick.
Yeah.
Has ranged attack has disadvantage.
It doesn't.
Oh. No, it has disadvantage because it's in melee with those two.
Oh, that's true. In that case, I'm going to just re-roll this. That was worse for you. Yeah. Yeah. It is...
When a creature within 5 feet of you makes an attack against a target other than you can use your reaction to make a melee weapon attack against the attacking creature.
Go for it.
Sentinel!
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I have advantage.
So, is this the one you've been hacking?
The one I've been hacking,
You've been
yes.
hacking, cool. So this is number
1. Dirty 20.
Shield.
It casts shield.
You got shield. And yeah, this boom, like hollow shield appears over it, and your weapon bounces straight off it. You sense that the 20 would have hit, were it not for this thing's like lightning reflexes. Cool. So that was actually worse for you on the reroll. It still hits. Just rolling flat. So. What's your AC?
18.
Yeah, double checking. Okay, cool.
Time seems to distort
Mm-hmm.
around this creature's attack, and it glitches for a second. Reroll, please.
I would love to. Well, do you remind me what feature that is?
As the probabilistically unstable dualist
Silvery barbs, lovely. That's even better than any of the other rolls. I'm so sorry.
Wow, the dice really want you to
Yeah,
get smacked.
it has literally gone up every time I roll the die. In fact, it's actually gone up by literally 1 every time I roll the die. Cool.
It's
So
just
you
kind of
take
pleasing.
Sorry.
In the
21 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
You are grappled, and you cannot move further away from the drone while you are grappled.
Okay.
Could you then make me a strength saving throw?
Yep. 11. That's
You
not
are
good.
pulled 30 feet closer to the drone.
Cool.
So, yeah. How close is that going to bring Lillian to this drone?
If we're
No,
doing
yeah.
I think you're better off using your measure tool than...
Yeah, than our eyes.
But the thing is,
We're not
we didn't
using the
zoom
same
this
scale.
in,
So, assuming that this is the correct scale and we have...
I
sort
would
of-
have gotten
then,
as far
yeah.
away from this thing as I possibly could.
So, you would have gone 60 feet?
Yeah, so...
Okay, so it's going to pull you 30 feet, so you are now 30 feet away from it.
Okay.
It is then going to use a bonus action to move up to its speed. So we'll have proc attack opportunities from both of you.
I've already used my reaction.
You have. You hit it with Sentinel. Is the reduced movement to 0?
You have to hit.
Did you did you hit it on the? Oh, cause
No,
yeah. Sorry, yeah, I'm going nuts.
Just going to double check
Augustine.
the wording of it. Yeah, when you hit a creature with an opportunity, yeah.
Austin, the other thing, who are you giving the advantage to from Silvery Barbs? Because you pick a creature when you cast a spell to give advantage to after forcing the reroll.
Given that I was trying to prevent Lily from getting hurt, I'll give it to Lily for anything
Cool.
she
You have
has done.
a d20.
That is 19 to hit.
Again, you've sensed that would hit without the shield.
You have advantage because of flanking, by the way.
That's not 20. Powering your radiant sword through the shield, you shatter the hollow shield over it, puncturing a hole in it. Yeah, please roll damage.
Oh, nice and sneak attack as well.
Ooh, was this... you weren't using Booming Blade or anything, were you?
You can't.
You'd have to have Mage Slayer.
Yeah, you have to
Of
have
course,
Mage Slayer.
yes, this is an opportunity attack.
It is a free sneak attack though. Essentially.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Although
On a crit, too.
yeah, this might turn the drone. Hold on a second.
Excuse me?
By the way, you can see these 6 sets of glowing eyes on each of these things, sort of slants up in the water. And in fact, where Will has begun to swing the shield to and forth, you're getting this sort of flash where you can see the whole thing lit up in this spotlight, and then the light moves away for a second, and all you can see are these eyes.
Crit, so it's double, right?
Yep. Boy.
That's 19 plus 19 plus 19, so
38. Lovely.
Including your
Modifier. Dex mod. as well.
Dex mod.
It is.
Cool. What were your damage types there?
Given that I couldn't use the
Booming blade.
booming blade, it's just going to be
Piercing
a
from-
straight up piercing. I
Cool.
believe,
Okay.
yeah.
Good name. Cool. It then moves past you, turns back to face both of you, and exhales this sort of cloud at you, and you feel nanite bite into your flesh as it uses nanite cloud. Can I get a Constitution save from you two?
That. Dirty 20.
Also, because I successfully hit, its next attack roll or ability check is made at disadvantage.
Okay, that really pulled it back at the end there. What was
the save?
Constitution?
15.
Success.
Dirty 20.
Success. You both take 27 half to 13 damage, force damage, as these things sort of try and strip layers off you and sort of feed back into the bioreactor. That is that one's turn.
There's one thing that I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's one thing I don't want to say, but feel like I should, just in case it affects
Yes.
anything. Misty has in her possession in a vial, which is a drop of angel blood.
Good. It's a good thing this guy's going next then.
Yeah, I
think at this moment, as you're sort of flailing in the water and like coming into conversations, one of your limbs comes into contact with a piece of metal, and the other one swirls on you, basically.
Yeah, I thought that might.
He's
I
got
thought
saving
that
throws to make. He might fail one.
Yeah.
So what's the saving throw it has
So
to
he
make there?
needs to make a strength saving throw first.
Okay, that is going to be a 23.
That's successful. So he doesn't. He takes half the bludgeoning damage.
Yep. And this is number 2.
So he takes 6 bludgeoning damage, half to 3.
Yep.
And now he needs to make an athletics check to try to get out of the whirlpool.
Cool. Is that using his action?
Ooh, does it? Maybe it does.
Just double check, because that's important.
And just to check this one, there's no closer distance of Yuli.
No, I think it's
It
pulled
turns
Can
around.
use its action to try to swim away from the vortex as described above, but has disadvantage on strength athletics checks to do so.
Oh. So yeah, it can't actually get out.
Oh, yeah, no, he
Yeah, I
he's
think this
moving
one
towards.
close distance.
Has that one
One-
moved?
that
That one moved to get
That one
one of
moved
us in
so
it.
it could get both of you in the cone, sort of move to the other side of Will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't have got the attack of opportunity anyway, but it didn't break.
Yes, fair enough. Misty, it's not going to bother trying to use its action to move out of the whirlpool. It's going to roll an attack on you.
Would it get disadvantage from the fact that the whirlpool is...
Unless it says that in the...
Doesn't.
Yeah.
I meant more from the harpoon moving through the swirling water.
No,
Unless it says it on the spell.
No.
There are
Okay.
specific spells that do stuff
It's a
like
27 to hit you.
Oh boy, yeah.
You take 23 points of piercing damage.
That's great.
You are grappled, and can I get a strength saving throw?
7.
7. You are pulled 30 feet closer to it.
I'm back
Yep.
where I started.
And then it's going to fire its other one at you and try and drag you in further.
Sure.
Ooh, that might not hit. 17?
Beats it, beats it.
You not got shield or anything as a reaction?
Nope.
That's cocked as hell. Okay, that's only 9 points of piercing damage. And again, can I get another strength saving throw?
That is a natural 1 for a total of 0.
Cool. So these two harpoon launchers go thud through your body. The claws open on the other side and begin to pull you, and it pulls you 60 feet into the whirlpool. So 60 feet towards it for the turn, and that puts both of you.
Right, okay.
You are on it basically.
Yes.
Pulled onto its like armored frame.
Does anything bad when I enter the whirlpool?
Yeah.
That's all right.
Let's see.
What are the rules around grapple?
I would say that you didn't use your movement, and that's similar.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that is similar language to like if you get an opportunity attack. So
yeah,
I think
the thing is that the stuff triggers on the start of your turn there, so it's not going to.
so.
happen
It won't
till-
happen now, but it will happen at the start of your turns.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
What's the rules around grapple? Specifically, can I cast Vortex Warp to get out of it?
Maybe.
Cool.
I don't know what Vortex Warp does.
Is it a teleport?
Yeah, you magically twist space around. Oh,
If you are teleporting away from it,
yeah. Yeah, the target's teleported.
you could use Vortex Warp to escape from it. Then,
Okay,
yes.
cool.
Cool. Dans sa casse. That was the second of its goes. And that is the end of that turn. So Augustine, it is your turn. I believe that is right. I'm going
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
Close distance again. Go
Yeah.
around to the back.
Zipping around.
But I can use Booming Blade this time.
Yeah, if you're using it on turn, absolutely.
You have advantage because flanking.
Yeah. 19.
On that one,
This one.
Doesn't have its reaction yet.
it used
Shield is
shield
still
on
up,
its
though.
turn, so it will be the start of its next turn. Is that right? Yeah.
I'm unsure.
Let's check it. Keep me honest.
Shield. Nope, that's the shield as in the
I
shield.
literally got the same thing.
Stupid thing. Stupid. There we go. Shield D&D's beyond until the start of your next turn.
Yeah. So
that's
that
what
is
that
a
is.
miss. Did you roll that advantage with the
Flanking.
for flanking there? Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
5 then 10.
Fair enough. It clangs off this sort of weird. It is that same slate grey diamond hard metal, and what you're going for is the joints and the wiring. But yeah, you don't find any purchase.
That's it.
Cool. Initiative count 20. I'll tell you a fun thing about these. They come in boxes of 2, but I like them so much.
You bought 2 more.
I got 2 boxes. Could you pop those down? Make a square basically with further down the body,
Oh, okay, yep.
and then
So
there's
that
this
would
one as
be
well.
There. And that would be roughly there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so again, these pods discharge and these things barrel up from out of them, unfolding from these sort of... They're almost like in like bell-shaped, like metal, like hibernation pods almost, except these things aren't alive. But yeah, they barrel out and are going to roll in. So if these guys roll high, they might not go until next turn. One of them will be going after initiative count 20.
Ooh.
One of them wait. So that one will go there, but is going
Right.
off. Yeah, you get what I mean? Yeah. It was a 3, so that's going to be going there. Very all or nothing. Cool. Lily.
Right. What's the
I thought you
distance?
said we'd be done by 10:30.
What's the distance between these two?
Yeah, we might be.
60. I think, yeah, let's say, I think that's going to be 45 feet.
Okay.
I'm just going to do this now because...
Because I can control water within 100 feet. So basically everything is mine.
Has that brought any more light to the situation there if I've clicked transition to daylight?
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, because we've got...
If you deselect.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Go back to there.
Lily will still have a light source, I think.
yes,
So, yeah.
but this is a bit clearer now. So if I just grab Augustine and move them all the way over there...
Augustine doesn't have a light source or vision, or the ability to see in the dark.
Who the frick is it? Is it Misty?
It's Lily.
Oh, that's because we've already revealed this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fine. I understand what's happening now, and I can. It's a question of two choices. Okay, the whirlpool ends here.
Yep.
And starts here.
Tries to get both of those.
Yes.
Absolutely can. Absolutely fine.
That's my action to do that.
Yep.
But that's not spell casting anymore.
No.
They definitely want my ass. So I'm going to move around here. Am I in melee with this one, or did not get close enough?
It wouldn't have got close enough. No.
So I'm going as far as I can.
Did it hit you with a
It did
range
actually.
attack?
It did actually.
You cannot move further away from it than you were when it hit you.
So that's 60 feet.
60 feet.
So I'll get 60 feet away from it.
Cool.
Shit. Action to that. Bonus action. And then I will spiritual weapon.
Very good.
Right next to it.
Cool. Perfect.
And I have advantage on this roll because of silvery bars.
You do.
19 plus 8.
Bypasses the shield immensely. Yes.
Cool. It's only going to be a d8 of damage though. And that's a 1.
Okay.
So 1 plus 5, so 6.
Perfect. Okay.
I should not have looked behind me. The light.
Oh, I see.
I turned around, just poof, I now can't see out of my left eye.
That is
It's
that was Lillian.
Misty.
Roll me a tech check. Just generally roll me a tech check.
Oh my god. 13. That is...
Okay, 13 is not terrible. It doesn't give you factual information. You are making some headway with this hacking. It is not a futile endeavour, and you think you could do better than you did last time. So yeah.
Yes.
It depends what you want to do here.
Well... Would you allow as a bonus action for me to drop the vial of angel blood so it's no longer on my person?
I will let you do that as a free action.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I have no idea if it will change anything, but...
I mean, when it hits the robot, I can imagine these robots just going for that instead of you.
Now,
maybe.
I like that, and it's a cool thing to think of. So I'm going to say, roll me a deception check. What's the maximum you can hit on a deception?
22, 27 if I flash a
If you can hit me a 25 on a deception check, this thing will let you go and go after what it considers the more dangerous thing. That you can do this just as do your object interactions to drop the Avalo Angel Blood.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't think I've got any lucky points left either. 2 moments.
You get an 18 on the dice, don't you?
Yeah, and that's a 4, so, this...
It's there.
Just let it go.
What would you like to do with your turn? You can absolutely drop the vial,
I'm dropping the vial. I have no idea if that's going to make any difference or not, but, at the time that I realised it was a player, I imagine she would have realised what the problem was as well.
Sure.
I think... Yeah, let's no longer be within melee range, because that just seems...
Sure.
Like a real bad idea.
Yeah. So Vortex Warp?
Yeah, Vortex Warp. I choose to fail. So... to a space of your choice that you can see within range. I mean...
Thanks to Lily.
Yeah. Zap over here, right?
90 foot range.
Yeah, and even if I can't get to it, I then swim.
I'll let you make a hacker's check as a bonus action, but I will halve the successes you make and round down.
Fair. Why is my dice hating me? That's a 19.
Cool, noted.
If you will allow the flash of genius, though.
I will.
My last one. That will take it to a 24.
Perfect. Cool. Will.
Okay, I think I'm also going to attempt to do a hacking check.
Go for it.
Like now that Misty is no longer in melee, and we've got like 3 to pick from, I think I'm better hacking than banishing.
Go for it.
At this point.
Cool. Any funk anyone wants to rub on that?
Can't.
Fair enough. Yeah. Just have to ask.
In terms of bonus actions, I am going to. I am going to cast Spirit Shroud on
Very good.
myself.
Cool. Yeah, this sort of point defense system comes online and the little sort of emitters erupt from Will's skin and fly off into the water. Yeah, cool.
Do I want this to be... Okay, I'm choosing, rather than choosing Radiant or Necrotic, because I figure these things might be resistant to Radiant,
Yeah.
I'm going with Cold.
Great. Excellent. I think, as you sort of bring the defense, and it sort of initializes in its old, the format, you've always used Radiant because you've been fighting vampires.
Yeah.
And as you do so, as you go to switch it, you just see that Radiant energy begin to be sucked towards the engine intakes on this thing. And as you switch it to cold, that effect goes away.
So these things, they eat Radiant energy to power up, maybe.
Could say that.
I had a thought as well when
Yeah.
I was doing the hacking. What I wanted to do was not focus on that thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to focus on taking over its nanite cloud that it pushed out.
That is a breath weapon. Yeah, you can't take over the nanite cloud, I'm afraid.
I was going to try and turn its nanite cloud against it.
Lovely idea. That is, if you hack this thing and get control of it, you can get it to use its nanite cloud on other things. But yeah.
To hack that nanite cloud, you'd need like 1 million successful hacker checks.
Just one by one.
Yeah.
Or I set up my own nanite cloud.
Do you ever watch Black Mirror with the little bees? Hated in the Nation.
Yes.
Yeah, that's you got to get one bee at a time, but one bee can do a lot.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, it is your man's turn, which I believe is the one in base to base with Will and Augustine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. It is going to use Rending Fist. I think it's going to attack you because you did the big chunk
Cool.
of.
That's a disadvantage.
It is. The first one's a disadvantage.
Yeah, sure.
It's also getting an attack towards it.
It is. Yes. That is a 19 to hit on with disadvantage.
Yeah, of course it is.
Cool. That is pants on the damage, so 4 plus 7, 11 slashing damage, plus a d6 determined by its adaptive weaponry trait, that is fire damage, so 2.
28 to hit.
Honestly, shield bypassed. Go for it.
So I'm just, I spin it round underwater and then just
Plonk.
drive it in.
Yeah, great.
And I'm going to try and leave it in there to act as a bridge for hacking.
Very nice. Oh, I like that. Yeah. I'm aware of the time. We are 5 minutes away. We're not going to finish tonight. I just want to get to a satisfying point.
Okay, so this is a... okay, so that is a 7 slashing damage.
Yeah.
Eight cold damage from machine strike
Very nice.
as I just pump coolant into it.
Yep.
Also, I'm hoping that the cold damage will freeze it a little bit in the water.
That's the effect of the cold damage.
And then I believe it is another D8 for the cold from Spirit Shroud.
Great.
Another 8.
Very nice. Yeah, you sense that cold energy is doing the work, is doing the lion's share of the work here rather than the slashing. Cool. So that was. Then it's going to attack you again with the second.
Annoyingly,
ooh.
that would have been a crit if I'd Hexblade cast it.
12 to hit.
Misses.
Yes. It's now your boy over there.
Okay.
I think that one. No, this one down in the corner. So yeah, that one. The Brad one of Brad, Ryan, Rich, and Mike. The Brad one is going to, I think, use its athletics check.
So it needs to make a strength saving throw first.
Strength saving throw first. Strength saving throw is 23.
That succeeds. So
Athletics check is 28.
That both succeeds. So,
Cool.
but it still takes half of 9, so 4.
Perfect. Yep. And then it is going to swim 30 feet. Sorry, it's going to stomp along the floor, basically. 30 feet closer. Then it is going to use its bonus action, aggressive, to move its movement again.
To Augustine?
Yes. That is its whole turn, though. Then it is the one that hit Misty.
Yeah.
I think that one is going to do exactly the same, move 60 foot closer. It is sort of retracting those. It's retracting those harpoons back in that are no longer through your body.
Yeah.
And
Who's it going after?
Misty. Or at least in that direction. But again, it's having to use its whole move. No, it's going to go half that distance, sorry. And then it is going to cast Scorching Ray. What's your AC?
17.
So that is going to be one hit. And I believe underwater combat
That actually
halves
halves fire damage.
fire
yeah.
damage. So you take 5 fire damage.
Okay.
Yeah, these sort of little sort of mini rocket sort of rocket packs lever up from the panel on its back and fires these burning darts at you. That you feel the effect lessened, but you're still scorched by them. That is its turn. Then it is. I think that's it, isn't it? Because that one
Yeah.
This,
yeah,
attacked,
this one.
moved.
Oh yeah, that one's
yeah,
over here.
but that one doesn't go until after Augustine.
Yeah.
So that's a good time to
Augustine.
end.
I was going to just get through to the next set of hacking checks because I have a funny feeling about what's going to happen on the next set of hacking checks.
So it's not quite a drop of angel blood, but I have a familiar that is bound to the bank.
You want to do some experimentation?
That is made out of ink.
Yeah.
So I am assuming when I open the vial, it'll just. So I'd like to just pour it on this one, and then maybe it'll go. The intake will bring in.
Oh, inside of itself.
Inside of itself.
Oh, I love that.
Treating it with whatever radiation, not divine, that the bank.
I will let you do that as a completely free action. None of them even acknowledge its existence.
Oh man.
Invisible.
Yeah, makes sense. Didn't exist.
What would you like to do?
Is it worth me getting an attack off before I go? Like, is this thing likely to attack? It'll use all its movement to get to me, right? I'll attack the one that we're at least
Plugging away on.
Yeah, and then I'll get out of there. That is a 28.
Hits.
You do have advantage, so you may as well.
Oh, yeah.
Try and confirm.
That is a nat 20.
Helping. And booming blade.
Should have rolled for
25
didn't get its description.
plus.
Oh, did it take its damage for booming blade? Oh no, you missed last time. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
25 plus 20 plus 51.
Shit me, yeah.
And then takes an additional. So that's 51 piercing
Yep.
and then 12 lightning. Sorry, thunder.
51 piercing and 12 thunder.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to take it to there. Yeah, you just jam the and just like lever like some of the cabling that's on the side of it there just like snaps loose, and you see like one of its fingers just goes limp, like it's only got partial like motor control of one of its arms now. That was anything else you've done?
Dash, disengage.
Perfect. Way, yeah, zooming off into the darkness. That one over there He's going to move 30 feet closer.
Has to
Strength
try and
save
get
Strength
that.
saving throw. Beg pardon. 22.
Succeeds.
Athletics check. Doesn't move any closer.
Ooh.
Natural 1.
Wow, he's stuck.
Yeah. This thing is fully engaging its engines, and I think it's just going to use its full turn, staying still at this point. Cool.
7 points of damage, half to 3.
Cool. Perfect. And then that is, I believe, Lillian.
How high up are these things? Because presumably they're swimming through the water, not...
They are propelled in water. Yeah.
How high up?
Not very. I'm going to say varyingly between 15 and 45 feet off the surface.
Because that one's probably going to break free. What one's 45 feet off the surface?
I'm going to say from my left, right, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sure.
That one. That one there.
That one there?
Yep.
I part the waves at that point, dropping him 45 feet into the ground.
I love it. No notes. Yeah. Yeah. You sort of open a sort of cavitation bubble, and there is like a thunderclap, and all your ears pop, even underwater. There's this massive pressure just goes.
Mark.
Yeah, great.
He takes 9 plus 3, 12... 14 points of bludgeoning damage as he hits the ground.
Great. No notes. Cool.
And then I drop concentration and the water just goes...
Now. I do like it. What would be an appropriate amount of damage to get you to roll? Because we're a long way down here.
Yeah. And
Say it again.
I've just stopped the pressure, then immediately snapped it back in.
Given that this is such a specific battlefield, I'm going to say this has the effect of like an inflict wounds spell at first level.
Okay.
So roll me 3d10.
Okay, cool.
Because although this is cheesy as hell, and I do love it, you'll never use this again.
Not a million years. 16...
So, we're going to flood the space station.
20.
20, lovely. Perfect. Yeah, this cavitation bubble just collapses, and you actually see the armor plates buckle under this bubble. Perfect.
Rich, as soon as we're done, you can go when this thing goes to help clear up.
Yeah. Then Misty and Will, if you want to roll hackers checks, roll one.
Do I get advantage because I have a shunt in
You
it?
do. You both get advantage. Ooh. And in fact, one of you roll first because you might want to transfer successes.
So mine's currently at 25.
What's yours?
17.
Cool. That one, as it is bearing down on Will and bringing its rending fists in, the buzzsaws going, churning the water, it suddenly drops its arms to the side and goes, roll clearance accepted. You can transfer 2 successes to another one of your choice.
Which one's least damaged?
That one.
Yeah, that one in the corner.
That one just got dropped.
This one.
That one's not been
Hit
touched.
once by the whirlpool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Minor
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah, minor
Okay,
damage.
yeah, so this one then.
Rocks
So,
clink.
so if we target other ones, but we'll
Number
hack
2.
that one.
Cool. Yeah, and as this thing comes under your sway and waits for commands to be input, I will call the session there, and we will pick up in Media Race next
I
time.
think I want to ride this one like a backpack. Or like a piloting a mech.
Put you in a baby Bjorn.
No, they are just like...
Thank you for your time. I
the baby-
apologise, that went a little bit over as well.
The Baby Born model is
I will
slightly
stop
different
recording now.
and comes in the Adeptus